Ladies with gentle hands, welcome to a brand new episode of the Trophy Hoarders podcast. Today, I am joined with my lovely co-host Chris and also a special guest.
Yes, we have a special guest, Mr. BombChop. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
So my name's Alex, also known as BombChop, and you can find me on YouTube where I do all forms of platinum content, such as experiences with specific games, trophy list reviews, and top 5 and 10s so far.
It sounds like there's more to come in that area. I'm sure we'll quiz you about that later.
Yeah. So what is it you've been playing recently then? How's the platinum hunting been going?
For myself, it's been a bit non-existent. I've kind of had a couple of weeks off, been too busy with work. But my last platinum, last game that I platinumed was Epic Mickey Rebrushed, which was quite enjoyable. I didn't expect it to be as enjoyable, but it was decent.
I don't even think I know it. Was that a Nintendo game? Was that a Wii exclusive? What, the original?
I'm not sure if it was an exclusive, but it was definitely on the Wii. I think it might have been PS3.
PS3
Maybe,
with like the Move controllers as well, right?
Yeah. I think so.
I think you're right, Chris. It definitely started on the Wii, I think.
Yeah, it's one of the ones I think I've heard it, but I've never actually seen gameplay, or I didn't even know it was on PlayStation, to be honest.
Yeah, it's made by THQ, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Yeah, because the only reason I knew that it was happening was from that THQ stream a while back where they showcased a bunch of games, and that was one of the games. I was like, oh, never thought I'd be interested in a Mickey game, but it actually looks kind of good.
Yeah,
And it sounds like the platinum was half decent as well, so maybe when it's on a sale, I'll try and pick that one up.
How is the platinum? Is it difficult, or is it?
Nah, it's pretty simple, to be fair. As I always say, if I've got the platinum, then most people can get it.
Yeah, I say the same thing. Just an average gamer, right?
It's one of the ones. See, recently, I'm just not interested in using a guide for a platinum. I just want a nice smooth playthrough. If I need to do two, that's fine. But it's see the idea sitting down with a guide the entire time. I'm just don't fancy it.
What kind of guides do you respond to? What better? Is it a text guide, or do you prefer watching a guide, or is it a combination of both?
It depends. See, the thing with video guides is I like having a podcast or a video in the background. Whereas if I'm using a video guide, then I can't listen to the podcast and the guide at the same time. So I need to use a text. But then the text, I was done the Battlefield 3 Platinum, and I tried doing it with a text. I finally got that finished, and I spent a good hour or something like that trying to do it with a text, because you need to complete this jet mission perfect, right? And it tells you, it's right, 16 seconds, and then fire, then 37 seconds after that, you fire the second one. It's everything's got to be perfect. And mate, I spent an hour doing it with a text guide. First try with a video guide, and I got it done. I
was going to say, just with video guides, you just see the tiny millimeter movements to line something up, right?
And you can just see it's right, as soon as he comes out the spin and straightens up, that's when I fire.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think it depends. Sometimes I'll take a look at a text guide if it's straightforward, but if I'm following instructions, go to this place on the map, it's just easier to watch it. It's straight to the point, do it in 15 seconds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd say, do you know on the PS5, right, how some trophies show you the video clips?
What do you mean?
Oh, the PS5 hints, ain't it?
Yeah, PS5 hints. I mean, the lack of noise about it just goes to show that it's probably not utilized as much as PlayStation would want.
I was going to say,
great idea.
I remember seeing it. Let's see, when the PS5 first came out, I was like, that's going to be so handy. It's even there's the counter. So it's if you need to kill 50 enemies, if it's a PS5 game, it'll show you you've done 32 out of 50. I don't even use that either. I don't use any of it.
It is helpful, but then it doesn't give you the in-depth stats if it's a specific kill, or do you know what I mean? A specific collectible. You're oh well, it's nice to know that I've got 99 out of 100, but which one am I missing?
Yeah.
It's a good idea in principle, but it's just, I don't use it. It doesn't sound like you two gents use it either.
Nah, it's one of the ones that, see, on Xbox, Xbox had it with the Xbox One. I remember seeing it last generation, I was like, mate, PlayStation need to add that. How's Xbox got it and we don't? And then they add it. I've not even used it. So cheers, Sony. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
But
Yeah, put that in just for you, mate.
yeah. What else have you been playing then, BombChop? When was that last platinum then? How long back was that?
About a week ago, week and a half ago.
That's not
Yeah.
A week ago.
Other than that, all I've really been playing is Black Ops 6.
Hey, shout out.
So you've both been on it then?
I mean,
Yeah,
if you're
I've seen that I'm out of all my friends, I'm the highest level so far, but it's not because of skill. It's just because of the amount of time I've put into it.
Just on that
what
grind.
level are you?
I believe I'm 35 on first prestige.
That's jeez Louise.
But
That's
you're
very impressive. Level 40 or 41, I think. Zero prestige, like base.
But it's prestige 55.
Yeah, 55.
Yeah, 55.
It is crazy the way that it's scaled though, because levels 1 to 40 is like a specific amount of XP, and then from level 40 to 55 is the same amount of XP it takes you to get from 1 to 40, which I don't know if it's always been that way, but it does seem like it's quite like hard, if that's the right word, to get to 55.
Yeah.
I don't know your experience with that, BombChop, whether you've thought that it's been fair leveling up for those last 15 levels to get to prestige or what.
I'm not sure about the last 15, but definitely like the last 4 or 5. I remember being like level 51, thinking like, okay, you know, it'll take me a few more games and then I'll prestige. And then like I spent the rest of the night just grinding up to I didn't even prestige that night. It was that bad.
That long.
Although, you know, when you're finishing bottom of the leaderboard, holding everyone else up, it's you don't earn so much XP.
Have you just been in multiplayer, or have you been doing zombies as well?
Mainly multiplayer. I've had a couple of runs on zombies. Got to the boss of the Easter egg on Terminus twice and failed both times. But
Is that solo or with people?
no, with randoms.
Oh, nice. That's quite impressive with randoms, to be fair. We
Yeah,
all know
I mean,
how randoms help with
More
trophies.
thoughts on randoms.
the randoms knew exactly what they were doing. I was just following around and did the one thing I knew how to do. There was a specific part where you have to like press a button at the same time as everybody else. But then they did everything else.
Yeah, I've not really seen too much on it, 'cause I've like been away on holidays and just not been able to game. So I've seen like TikToks and stuff, which I think is a really great way to watch an Easter egg guide now. Seeing it just vertically, I don't know, 2 minutes of how to do an Easter egg instead of a 10-minute Mr. Ruffle Waffles video or something like that. Proper classic way of doing an Easter egg.
I think that's one of the things with just YouTube though. Like so many people want to get over that 10-minute mark just for the ads. So it's like this, which should take 2 minutes. They're just stretching it right out. Whereas TikTok gets. In fact, you can post long videos on TikTok now, but there's just no advantage to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how YouTube Shorts work with the monetization of it, but I guess if you can get your content done quickly, it works. They're also pushing vertical live streams at the minute on YouTube
Yeah,
Shorts.
I get a notification for that, but
Which I could be tempted to try because it could bring in a new audience, but I don't really want to ruin my current fans, if that makes sense. The people that come to watch a horizontal stream, horizontal.
yeah, horizontal.
a normal stream.
It's one of the ones like vertical streaming that I can only imagine is like IRL. Like I can't imagine watching somebody playing a video game vertical.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I've seen it pop up a few times, and I don't stick around for long. But then again, I don't even watch in-person live streams. I just don't. It's not really my cup of tea, to be honest. I'm on TikTok for like a quick 5-minute brain rot. Do you know what I mean? Not to watch a 20-minute live stream or however long they go on for.
So
a vertical stream of Black Ops 6 would just look like my field of view anyway. Like I can't see anything to the sides. If it's not in front of me, I can't see it.
He's like a horse. Do you need the plat? Do you need prestige for the platinum?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you needed that with World War II as well. You had to have prestige.
Out of interest, because we did actually Google this, because I said my thoughts on the platinum for Black Ops 6. Do you know the rating, like the difficulty rating, BombChop, and what would you rate it if you already know the answer.
I don't.
Okay.
Because I'm playing it on PS5. I've not looked at the trophy list at all.
Right, I get you. If you had to, I don't know, if you're not looked at the trophy list, I guess it's a hard one to say, but if you just had to, from what you've got so far, how difficult would you say it's been in terms of a journey?
Because I know that like there's some of the zombies ones, and I've obviously only failed on a couple of attempts. I'd probably say it's probably about a 6 off the top of my head.
Okay, that's interesting. It's the only guide that I've seen was on Power PYX. Is it PYX, that one?
Yeah, power picks.
Yeah. They've rated it a 5 out of 10, which I thought was quite high. I don't know.
But how
I thought
much
it'd
of
be-
Black Ops have you played? Have you both done the campaign, or is it just online?
I've done all of the campaign stuff on Veteran. Veteran on it, it's like any modern COD. It's not too difficult. There are some sections which just where you spawn with like starting checkpoints are really, really dodgy. And obviously being on Veteran, you do just get popped straight away. So there's a couple of dodgy spawns, but apart from that, it's not the hardest, I don't think. Really good campaign though. Really good campaign, I thought.
Was it a good story?
Yeah, I'd say it's.
Ooh.
I would say Black Ops 1's story is probably still better, but I'd say that it's my second favorite. Like it's that good. It's got a bit of everything. You know, if you like the twists and turns that the original Black Ops took you on, really good. But moving on from Black Ops 6, as much as I love it and can talk about it forever, what have you been playing, Chris?
Well, as I said, I finally platinumed Battlefield 3, so that is it, done. There was only 2 trophies that were a pain. The jet mission that I mentioned earlier, and that's just like you need to do it perfect, and if you mess it up, you need to start the mission over. But it's like a 5-minute intro to the mission where you're just sitting there, so it's an absolute pain. And then the other one, you need to shoot down a jet first time, but it's like you use the wee launcher, but it's at the very end of the mission. And when you need to take cover to hide for the jet when it comes in to shoot you, and the AI just kept coming in beside me and pushing me out of cover, so the jet would just so then I need to do the whole mission again, and I was like, oh man, it was a pain. But Battlefield 3 finally platinumed, and that is a ultra rare on PSN profiles. I think it's a 2% or something like that, but platinumed and 100%ed, so that's that done. And still wakes the deep. I get my Halloween platinum.
Ooh,
Yes.
I didn't know you played that. How was it?
Maybe it's the only negative is it's short. Like it took me 5 hours to beat, and that was like me going through slow and kind of just like soaking up the environment and like taking it all in. But it's a decent story, but it's more like how authentic it feels. Like see like the characters and the environment. It actually feels like a lived in environment. It's not like I'm playing through this level. It's like, oh, this is like an actual oil rig I'm on that looks like the real fucking deal. It's like the word to use is authentic, and it's an easy platinum as well. But you need 2. I'd recommend 2 playthroughs. You can do it in 1 with a guide, but you need to. I always say like experience the game first, enjoy it, and then do like your. You don't need to speedrun it, but just run through it and get the last of the collectibles, whatever you've missed. And
I was going to say, are there collectibles in it?
Yeah, and I really want to share. I wanted to share my platinum pop in the podcast, but I can't because it's the last trophy I got was watching a guy shower. So see the platinum pop screen. It's just a guy's ass cheeks, and that's what I got. So I'll need to post it on Twitter.
Purpose or
Was
it like yeah?
Yeah.
Are you making a video on it? Is it?
No, not even. I always like to try and make the platinum pop if I can, like funny or interesting or unique kind of thing. So that's it. Still wakes the deep, and it's just a white guy's ass cheeks.
Nice. It's on my list to play. I still need to buy it. I keep seeing it on sale.
I'd wait till it's like 10, 15 pound. See, just because it's so short. Well, like I said, 5 hours, like slow playthrough, and then 2 hours doing it quick and getting all the collectibles. So platinum them 2. That's me at 135, I think, platinums.
Jeez.
And I started Star Wars Outlaws, and it is such a bad game. Like I've seen all the reviews. Oh man, it's so boring. I think I've got 2 hours playtime, and I'd say I've probably only played about 40 minutes, and the rest is me just getting distracted and going on my phone because I was bored. Mate, the characters are just No, and it just, man, it just feels like a generic like bad game. It's like I don't
It's
know who the
Ubisoft,
game's
right?
for. Yeah, it's Ubisoft. Yeah,
Just feels like a generic Ubisoft game then.
I would
yeah,
say
but it's,
all Ubisoft games are just awful recently.
yeah. They get the formula that worked 15 years ago, and they've just kind of stuck with it. But this one, it's like there's nothing grab me, especially see going for like Still Wakes the Deep, where it was like such an enjoyable experience, to then Star Wars Outlaws, where it's just, and mate, it's a 25-hour platinum, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna like try and force myself through it. So I think I'm just gonna patch that, and it will always be stuck with like 2 trophies popped. I think it's 50 you need for the platinum, so I'll always be stuck at 2 out of 50, because I just can't play it.
Have you got that game through the rental service that you
Yeah,
use? Or, yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna
I got
say,
it through the
hopefully you
rental.
didn't pay real money for that because that
Nah,
would suck if you did.
that's one
I
that's,
hate it buying a dud. It's awful.
yeah. I can see this game being on PS Plus in like a year and a half's time.
Really.
Yeah, I
I
think it'll be
mean,
on PS Plus.
PS Plus have that deal with Ubisoft, right? The catalog, so maybe it'll
Yeah,
feed into that instead of the actual like
yeah, the monthly
PlayStation Plus.
games.
Yeah. I mean, it does suit the kind of mid games that PlayStation Plus gets. I can't really.
Mhm.
I feel like it's been better recently, like with Dead Space. It's a pretty huge game to get, but I'd say for 3/4 of the year, PS Plus is abysmal,
Yeah, it's
or the
just,
base tier of monthly games
mhm.
at least. The catalog is quite good, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say the PS Plus extra's worth it, and then,
Yeah.
but mate, the essentials, I think it's called. It's like, see if you look at value for money, like it's just never worth it.
No, I mean, I don't think you should have to pay money to play online. I think it's such a big scam.
Mate, it's
Like,
mental when you think about it, innit?
absolutely awful. I mean, the only saving grace is that if you only play free to play games like Warzone or Fortnite, you don't have to pay for Plus, which is good. But I just don't see. Just let people have fun for free.
But
You know,
that's me.
money.
So what you've been up to?
I've been playing Black Ops 6, so I had sort of like scattered amounts of time to play it. I'm mainly focused on doing the campaign on Veteran, so I just got all of the trophies for that. I've been playing the PS4 version because that does have a platinum. And you can really tell, like when I've joined multiplayer games, because I'm playing multiplayer on the PS4 version, like textures aren't even loading in with some of the maps, which is really, really bad. So I can't wait to wrap it up and actually play how it's meant to be played on PS5. But yeah, Black Ops 6 been really enjoyable, as I said earlier in the pod. And then I actually do have a platinum to share. I got the
Ooh.
Overcooked 2 platinum.
Oh
And
yeah, seen that on Twitter.
yeah, and it wasn't just me, it was my girlfriends that we got it together, which is super sick and ultra rare. I think it's like a 0.9% or something.
Oh,
Like
is it?
so an ultra rare platinum, right? For like somebody that doesn't really play games, I think is a pretty sick achievement within itself. Definitely very stressful at times. I don't think we will be chefs in any of our professions moving forward because I don't think we can handle the heat in the kitchen. It it gets very intense, but it is honestly great fun to play with a partner or friend. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
think you can play it like online as well, right? It doesn't have to be local.
I think so.
I'm not even
But yeah,
seen much of the game.
it's a. I'd just say it's like a Nintendo Wii game. It's just a party game, to be honest. It's simple. I say simple. It can get quite complex with some of the stuff you need to do, and like it's nice how the level design gradually gets harder and more complex with, you know, the levels changing and like having to walk through teleporters to get to like, you know, the cooking utensils and things like that. But yeah, good fun. I definitely recommend it. But that's
Are you gonna
everything I've been playing. Yeah.
are you gonna try and platinum mer games with her? Like It Takes Two, A Way Out.
Yeah, so actually, I completely forgot about Way Out. After we platinumed Overcooked 2, because I wasn't expecting us to do it. Like, when we first sat down and played it, we got to like world 4 or 5, I think, and there's only 6 worlds. So when we sat down for our second session, we was probably on it for about 2 or 3 hours, and then we ended up getting the platinum. I was like, oh, I thought this was going to take a lot longer because it was getting kind of difficult and having to relearn the game because we've not played it in months. Because it took us 2 months to get. Like, that's how long since she's been here
Mm.
and able to play it. But then we started A Way Out as well. So I didn't. I know you can do it without completing the game by looking at a trophy guide, but we just played it blind. So we've actually finished A Way Out, and wow, what a game that is.
Mate, it's such a good game.
I was aware of what happened at the end, but I wasn't aware of how it happened, if that makes sense. I thought it was going to be more of a sacrifice, should we say.
Who won? You or her?
I won, and I was... Is it Vincent?
I think Vincent's the one with the nose.
The guy that was actually in prison. I can't think of what he did. Selling the jewel. That's what he was in for. Like the armed robbery, not the guys that brother got murdered. Not that guy.
Yeah, it's the guy with the big nose and then the fat guy. That's how I remember it.
Yeah, so I feel like justice was served with my option, and thankfully I won and saw that end of the story because it's pretty cool. But I don't know how I wouldn't say too much. I know it's a really old game, but I'm sure if people want to experience it, go and experience it for yourself because it's good fun.
How old's that game? 2016, 17 maybe?
It looks good. It definitely looks old, but it still looks good. It was EA as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it EA?
Yeah, EA published. I think was it Hazelight or something like that made the game.
I was gonna say, have you both got the Plat for it?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
I get
I'm
it.
lagging behind.
That's
Maybe
one
we
of the
can
few
talk about
games I made a
spoilers.
profit on. I pre-ordered that game when it came out. I think it was like £25 I paid for it. Me and my brother smashed through it in a weekend, and then I traded it into CEX for like £30. And I was like, mate, it turned out a profit.
Decent. So yeah, started A Way Out, and then I've just been dabbling back in with Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero because I need to clean up the platinum for that. But it's more so just sort of popping in, doing a couple fights, and then leaving it. So it's going to be a bit of a slow burner, but it's a pretty straightforward one to get, to be honest. But yeah, I think that's all me. Tomorrow, I say tomorrow, but I will start streaming Days Gone. So I'm excited to restart that.
Game.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, BombChop.
What? Days Gone is quality.
Let's go. I hated Days Gone. Mate, so many points you get to where it's like, all right, that's the game finished. We're wrapping it up. Oh no, we've got a whole other section. I think it's like 3 or 4 times it got me with that, and I was like, mate, I just want to be done with this game.
If I'm being honest, I never completed it because it just went on for too long. I'll completely agree with you on that. Like, I got to the certain section where it's like, oh, plot twist, and then it was like, oh, I can't be bothered to do more. So I did leave it, but I did enjoy what I played.
Yeah,
Right.
I forced myself. BombChop. Do you think you'll go back to it?
At some point, yeah. I think it's been long enough for it to grab my attention again now. I don't know when though. I've kind of got into collecting just physical games recently, and I've got an insane amount on my backlog at the moment, and not that much time to play them. So maybe at some point, maybe if I quit my job in the future.
Being an adult, right? All those games and not enough time.
Yeah,
responsibilities. But yeah, I mean, I played Days Gone probably when it came onto Plus for free, wasn't it? Part of like COVID. There's a bunch of games they gave away.
No, it might have been.
I played it, got through maybe the intro. I've popped like 4 trophies, and turned it off. I love zombies, by the way, for context of any of the listeners. And yeah, didn't get on with it, but I let the members of my channel vote for a game for me to play this month, and that's what they decided. So I think I'm gonna play it on the hardest difficulty. It's like Survivor 2 or something, or something.
Fuck
bad.
that.
Yeah,
Mate,
apparently
just
it's
play it
like
on normal.
Really? Apparently it's like grounded on The Last of Us. So if it's that kind of difficult, I will probably be dying a lot. So,
It's also it's like hordes. It's like big, massive swarms of them.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. I have said with full sort of like, if I'm not enjoying this game, I will stop playing it. I'll just see how it goes on stream. I'll try to like it, but if it's just not going off,
I can't even remember how hard the platinum was for it. I'm sure it's like
it's straightforward, is it not?
Map.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. It's just very
Long,
repetitive and long.
Yeah, because I got the platinum for it, but I just remember it being so boring. That's one of the ones. It's just kind of like mind numbing. You just switch the brain off, and
Yeah, it's like defeat all of the hordes, do all of the nests, upgrade your bike to the max, and then like do all the side missions and complete the game. Pretty sure that's all it is.
I
Maybe
did
I
that.
don't do it on the hardest difficulty.
Nah, don't don't do it to yourself, mate. There's no need.
You'll be needing a whole pack of sticky notes.
Oh
For your
yeah,
death counter.
yeah, for my death counters. Yeah, Last of Us was awful.
So neither of you guys get a Halloween platinum then? I'm a bit disappointed.
I wasn't actually here, unfortunately, to the game the past week. I was staying with my girlfriend, so I took my PS Portal with me actually. So I managed to get a little bit of COD Zombies in, if that counts as my Halloween, my Halloween fix.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. Sorry.
that's all good. Go for it, bro.
I did have a plan for Platinum Halloween. I was going to do Crow Country, the 8-bit like old style horror game.
Is that always on sale for like £1?
If it was, then I got scammed. I paid like nine, I think, for it. But yeah, I watched one of streamers that I watch play it, and I was like, yeah, that looks like my kind of game. It's short, it's quite simple, so I thought, yeah, why not? I just never got round to it. Didn't even start it, and I brought it like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I had a plan for a Halloween video and it was Resident Evil 1 Platinum. But I was gonna, instead of like showing the whole platinum process, I would just leave 2 trophies to the end. And it was beating the game on the hardest difficulty and beating the game on invisible enemies mode. Just as like a challenge. And it was one of the ones, see where it like came time to record and I was like, I just can't be arsed, man. I've not got the motivation right now. See, especially to like, do something where it's like I'm gonna be getting annoyed constantly. I just not get the strength.
It does sound like a good video, though. I think that would pop off no matter the time of the year because people love watching Resident Evil stuff, don't they? Like, whenever I see a video, I always click on it because I'm just interested to see what wacky challenge somebody's deciding to do.
Yeah, it's one of the ones where it's like, see, just because like Metal Gear Solid was like such a solid video to make, like getting Big Boss like blind, and that kind of underperformed, and then GTA 4, but stealing a car, that kind of underperformed, but I'd like kind of planned in my head. So I think the next few videos I'm going to do will be like easy to make instead of like stressing myself out for 300 views.
I was going to say, I mean, that's kind of what I've lent into recently, just doing platinum list videos because I mean, BombChop as well, you can probably speak on this one because you've had a lot of success with, easy platinums and things like that. As a smaller creator, which we all, I guess, we are technically, right? Smaller on the smaller side of content creation. I find sometimes you just have to go with something that works in the algorithm, and as long as we've got the backlog of content, so like your GTA video, do you know what I mean? We've got that stuff there. So once we do pull viewers in, they do have some stuff to watch, but it's only going to tick up by like 1 or 2. But yeah, I mean, I completely feel it. It is super demotivating, but it just takes time, and it's a good video as well. Like everything that we produce are decent videos, so the viewers will be happy once they find us eventually. But yeah, I probably should cook up something that's not a list video.
Yeah, I'm gonna this week. I'm gonna record a video. I'll do it's one I've had planned for a while. I'd planned on doing like the full series. I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast. I don't think I did. But it's like to celebrate 30 years of PlayStation. It's going to be a platinum the worst PS1 game, the worst PS2 game, PS3 game, 4, 5. So I'll get 5 videos at it, and then one big video.
Yeah,
just put
I
it
love
all together.
things like that.
And see, hopefully that does well. And they're all the games they're super easy to platinum, so it shouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah, that sounds good, and I think as well because it's a unique idea. I don't think I've.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's done it.
So yeah, the quicker you do it, the better, mate. So because at the minute I've seen quite a few people do the 1 to 10 challenge. So 1 out of 10 platinum, 2 out of 10,
yeah,
going all the way up. I think Sandra's maybe working on it, but his video isn't out, and there's another guy, I can't remember his name. He's got a couple K subs. His videos are really good, but he's just dropped the same video. And I literally commented because in my notes, I think I had it from like the 18th of October. I just thought of the idea, like, but I just had it. I was like, oh, this would be a sick video.
Uh-huh.
And obviously, other people have got the same great idea. So it really is a race at this point within the platinum community to, if you've got an idea, get it out ASAP because someone else probably has it. But it's all good, right? Can't really pattern an idea like that.
I think in the platinum community, there's that many people now that, like, it's very rare that you will find a genuinely, like, just thought of idea. Like, you may think of it and it may at that time seem like you're the only person, but you can guarantee that someone else is on it. I mean, like, between ourselves, like, obviously it's very generic, horror list for Halloween. I was thinking about it. I know you was Defroth.
Yeah.
I mean, because of time, I just never managed to get mine done.
Me neither. I still think I will drop it though, because I think a horror list is still just restructuring the wording and the script of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just didn't. I was trying to platinum the Evil Within 2, which obviously is a bit of a long one. Clean up The Last of Us, things like that. I was just like, I don't have time.
I reckon you do it, but you drop it at Christmas. Because there's a guy I watch, I can't mind his name, but he does horror games in July. Every July, he just every single day reviews a different horror game, and that's like his thing. And I'm like, mate, I reckon you just drop it, but random, just December. Merry Christmas. Here's the scariest games.
Do you reckon any of you chaps will do a Christmas game? Because I think there's a Grinch game that looks pretty interesting.
Nah. I'd planned on doing Arkham Origins just because that's set during Christmas. But see, like, the amount of time I'm going to need to sink into it, I'm just like... right now I'm just kind of focusing on easy to make videos instead of difficult videos. And try and get back into, like, the swing of doing videos again.
I've got no plans. I mean, call me Scrooge, but I'm not a fan of Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm starting to like it since my son was born, but before then, like, I hated it. It's too commercial.
Yeah, I do think that Christmas is probably aimed at children a bit more, right? Like, as soon as you reach a certain age, it's like, right, no more presents because you're an adult. Merry Christmas, you're grown up.
It is your socks and boxers.
Yeah, actually. I mean, saying that though, socks and boxers are actually really expensive now.
Oh, mate, you're telling me Shug ate a pair of my boxers like a month ago. I've still not replaced them just because they're so expensive.
Depends where you get them from.
It was Amazon. I think it was it 40 for a 3-pack or something. I was like, Jesus Christ, man. So fuck that.
You buying Calvin Klein's or what are you buying?
Calvin Klein's and Under Armour, mate. That's what I rock.
Mate, the Calvin Klein, like, trunks, I think they're called, like the boxers, actual boxers. I always see them on sale on Amazon for like 25 quid or something for a 3-pack. Get on it, boys. It's a great deal.
Mate, Black Friday's coming up. I'll just buy loads of boxers.
Also, for context of people listening, Shug is Chris's dog, by the way. It's not like
not my neighbour or something.
Yeah. What kind of feral child do you have that eats boxers? I promise we feed it. Right, so I think we should probably move over to some quick fire questions. So last week we did some would you rathers, sort of based of last episode, based of numbers. But this week we're just going to go to plain Jane would you rather with, I guess, 2 things, right? Is that an original would you rather? Is that the right saying?
Yeah.
Or it?
OG.
Yeah. So OG. Right. So I guess if we go around the room, no time to think, sort of gun to your head, instant answer on the questions, please, then, gents. So indie games or AAA games, which would you rather play? I guess for the rest of your life, technically. I think that's the gist of it.
Indie for me.
I'd go
Indie.
AAA.
AAA.
I mean, indie you get more like variety, but AAA it's just higher quality. You're getting longer.
Yeah, I think I'm AAA on that one as well. I have a recent love for indie games, but I just think AAA. A lot of them are trash, but just the time you put into them,
Mate,
you can sink more time.
See, when you play on PC and it's just like the amount of RPG Maker games, and it's just like shit getting fired at.
All right. Next question then. Would you rather never play your favorite game ever again, or only play one game for the rest of your life?
Never
Never
play.
play
Some
my
silence.
Yeah.
What are we thinking?
never play my favourite game again.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, because
Chris?
I'm thinking my favourite game's probably Knights of the Old Republic, and I've not played that in a good 10 years, so I could go the rest of my life without touching it.
Do we include the remakes if they ever remade it? You'd never get to play that as well.
That's fine. Mate, the remake's cancelled now anyway, so what's it matter?
I mean, you say that there's rumors that it could still be alive. I hope it's still being
Yeah.
cooked up somewhere in the
There's rumours
studios,
of Biggie and Tupac still kicking about as well, so.
who knows at this point in the celebrity world? They could be living underground for all we know.
What about
Yeah,
you?
I think for me as well, never play my favorite game again, just because I don't know. I mean, saying that though, playing one game for the rest of your life, if I just got to play Call of Duty or FIFA, I could probably live with that.
You know, imagine you're
Nah,
bad at it though, you're just getting spanked off 13-year-olds the rest of your life.
Yeah, but surely you would be good if it was the only game you played, right?
You'd hope so.
I'd hope.
I don't
Yeah.
know about that one. I played League of Legends for like 6 years straight, and I was
You were into WoW.
trash. Yeah, like bad times. Bad times.
And I used to play a little bit of LoL on my little, I think it was an Acer laptop as well. No idea how I ran it, but had some good fun. Cho'Gath.
I think especially because like, we're trophy hunters, we're just kind of like sluts of the gaming world. We just go for like game to game. You know what I mean? We don't stick to the one.
Yeah.
All right, then. Next up, we've got. I guess this is probably like in an RPG setting, but would you rather have the worst weapons in the game, but the best gear? So like armor, I guess, or vice versa. Would you rather have the worst armor but best weapons? I've explained that poorly, but hopefully you catch my drift.
Best weapon, worse armor. Straight up.
Yeah, I'm exact same. I always go glass cannon build, just as much damage as I can, and go for it.
It's more fun, right? Just killing things quickly.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of just sitting there sponging hits?
The best defense is a good offense.
Exactly.
Exactly. All right, and then to round off, then, would you rather be in a zombie apocalypse or an alien invasion?
Depends on the zombies.
Nah, zombies all day, regardless.
28 days
Should we
later,
agree?
zombies though.
Yeah, I was going to say, should we agree on the zombie type? I think is probably a good thing to agree here.
Are we talking Dawn of the Dead come sprinting at you, or Walking Dead where they are slow as hell?
Walking Dead, they seem to be quiet as well though. They just sneak up on people.
Yeah, I mean, in The Walking Dead, if you've got far into it, in the more modern stuff, the zombies have evolved slightly, but they're still pretty pony. I don't know, an alien invasion, right? I say doesn't sound that bad. It would probably be quite awful, but I feel like for fairness, if we went with Walking Dead zombies, because I don't know how like what would happen with an alien invasion. You know, thoughts? Or should we be harsh and say it's 28 days, Dawn of the Dead, sprinting zombies?
I don't know.
Like I said, zombies either way for me. Aliens could be like highly intelligent. You don't know what they want to do with you either.
Could be like, is there not an alien movie where they're like afraid of water?
Isn't that Signs?
I don't know.
Is that Signs?
I just
Yeah,
know
I
there's
think
might
so.
be some alien movie, and it's like they invade
that-
a planet that's 8% water, but they're allergic to it.
Because just a bit of Death Row lore, I watched Signs as a kid, or parts of it, and if anybody's familiar with the film, I think it's like a handycam footage of like an alien crashing a birthday party. I think it's in Brazil, and it's just like this gangly, like your typical alien, and it honestly petrified me to the point where like I have been scared of aliens and like ET for so long, like like for so long. I think for me it's zombie apocalypse. Aliens is. Bleh.
No, I'll go aliens then. I'll go different. I think aliens come down, and then we as a world will finally unite, put our differences aside, and team up to defeat the aliens.
Maybe the aliens are mind controlling everybody though. To work together, right?
That's it, mate. They built the pyramids, so they'll probably like build some cool shit whilst they're here. So I say let them take over.
I mean, it could be a positive takeover, right? They could be quite nice and say,
Mate,
"Oh,
you
look,
played Mass Effect. They could be fit. You know, you don't know.
Yeah.
But if they're being nice, is it classed as an invasion?
That's actually fairs. That's a very good point. It
Shouldn't
could be
they
like
just
a
let them
Trojan
take
horse, right? they could be friendly. Then once they're settled in, they turn bad. Who knows?
It depends if they enslave us. If they enslave us, then that's an issue. But
yeah, but I know. I think for me, zombies. I don't know why people always lean into zombies though, because I say this as myself, thinking, "Oh yeah, I'd be good. I've watched The Walking Dead," but in reality, I'd probably die on day one, like a lot of people. Out of interest, have we got any zombie survival plans, gents?
Shake like a shitting duck in the room and fucking just wait to die.
Carry on as normal. Stay away from other people as much as possible.
Very
I
sensible.
think also zombie apocalypse, you got to deal with like, people backstabbing you, and it's more, I think zombie apocalypse it's more dealing with other people.
Yeah, people would start panicking, rioting, killing each other, like friendly fire.
Or even like you join a community and some guy gets bit and he decides to hide it. I mean, you've seen what happened with COVID, with people like just going out with COVID anyway and spreading it. Yeah. Nah, mate, go with the aliens. See the matter I think going it, give me the aliens. I'm praying for the Asari for Mass Effect. That's what we're hoping comes down.
Are they the blue aliens?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty cool to be fair. What's the like... It's completely wrong to describe the aliens, but like the rhinoceros looking ones, the like triangles in Mass Effect, what are they called? Do you know what I'm on about? No. They're like really like tanky builds.
Krogan.
Like they're really Krogan.
Krogan.
Those are the ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you get Rex as one of them.
Speaking of that, apparently, is it BioWare? They're developing a new Mass Effect.
That's been announced for ages.
Yeah.
I think they announced that like 3-4 years ago, and they're still every single, because it's November 7th is N7 Day.
Ah, yes.
They always show like a wee 2-second clip, but it's nothing. It's just CGI trailer.
Well, hopefully this year maybe there'll be something of substance, because it sounds like they've been cooking for a long time. All right then. So I feel like we should probably make the most of our special guest for this week. We've had a nice long introduction, so let's put the spotlight onto BombChop. So got some questions for you, buddy.
Okay.
How did you get into YouTube? I think that's probably what a lot of people want to know. People listening wanting the exclusive behind the scenes scoop and getting to know you a bit more on a personal level. How and why did you get into YouTube?
I mean, to be honest, I've been around YouTube since pretty much the start of YouTube. And like when I was a kid, like I'm talking like 5-6 years old, and then like a little bit older, I used to pretend when I was playing on my Sega Mega Drive that I was actually hosting a show. I was like streaming before streaming became a thing. Well, pretend doing it anyway.
Yeah. And then you get like, shouted at as well for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I used to do the same. I used to talk whilst I was playing a game. My dad like, TV makes enough noise, you pack it in, just shut the fuck up and sit down. It's like, yes, Dad.
Almost word for word. Almost word for word. But yeah, I used to do that as a kid, and then like obviously once YouTube, put my teeth back in. YouTube became a thing. I just found it easier to connect with people online than I did with people in reality. To be honest, like I'm very socially awkward. Yeah, so it just was so much easier to connect, and then like I just ran with whatever I was enjoying at the time. I mean, platinum content isn't my first rodeo on YouTube. The other rodeos failed miserably. This is definitely the furthest I've got so far, and it's also the one I'm enjoying the most. So long may it continue.
So, what other type of content did you do then? Like, what have you tried?
So I did gaming about 11 years ago with my first channel. It was called Chopaholic Gaming. It
Is it
still
still
exists.
live?
Yeah,
Nice.
The
yeah.
videos still there, or have you
Yes, they
privated?
are.
Yeah.
They're still there. I have like there's no way I'd ever remember what the passwords and everything were for that back then.
Oh
Like,
no, let's
So you
before
can't
we
delete it if
direct
you
people
try.
there,
mate,
let's hope it's.
I don't care. Like, I like looking at them sometimes just to see how
Mm,
ridiculously bad and awkward I was back then. Like, I still am now, but I was way worse back then. But like, I didn't really have any like focus. It was basically just playing bits and pieces like Sonic the Hedgehog 1, Left 4 Dead.
Was it Let's Plays?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
But like commentary as I was going through, but it was like not commentary the way that you would expect it to be. It was just me chatting random poop. And like, I think there was a video where I was playing with one of my mates, and like we're just like chatting between the two of us, and it was absolutely atrocious. It really was. And then that was when I began playing League of Legends, and I put my fist through my laptop. Thanks to League of Legends, and I never returned to my YouTube after that.
was it was you doing like webcam as well, or was it just voiceovers, sort of
Nah,
like faceless?
just voiceovers.
I feel
Around
like
sorry.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say I feel like YouTube about 11 years ago was very faceless to an extent. Like it was quite difficult to get a webcam working and gameplay as well. I mean, I'm just speaking from myself as well that would commentate over COD.
Well, around the same time, I also tried doing like a vlog channel, just where I was covering random topics. Now, this one doesn't exist because the people who I used to work with found it and absolutely ripped the shit out of me. And
At work.
yeah,
Oh
like
dear.
I, I'm talking like fucking working. I was working in a pub at the time,
Oh,
and
no.
and I was working with
Stressful.
let's just say, it's past the 5 minute mark now, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
well
yeah, we're
past
all
that,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. A couple of dickheads, and they like had all the followers, and they just absolutely rinsed the crap out of me. So I just deleted everything, and I was like, oh, how did you find me? You've been googling me. Oh, you want my ass, like, and span it that way to try and save myself a little bit. Didn't
Yeah.
work. I ended up leaving shortly after.
Yes, I never understand that because I think a few episodes ago in one of the early ones, me and Chris were talking about YouTube during school and similar things happening with, I guess, bullying and people taking the piss out of you, and it honestly is brutal. But I never thought that in a workplace, you kind of hope that people mature when they get older, but it seems that some people still are stuck in that kind of playground teasing stage, which is really unfortunate. But thankfully, it's not stopped you from making content, and now you can, I guess, laugh at them with the success that you've been finding recently.
I mean, yeah, like, thinking back to that vlog channel, like, yeah, like, I wouldn't personally take the pee out of somebody that's doing it,
Yeah,
but I would also look back at it and be like, that's awful. Like,
yeah,
so it's one of them. Like, I've moved on to bigger and better things in life in general. Like these guys that took the pee, like I'm earning more money at work than they are. I've got a better job than they have, and like all that laughing that they had. Well, I'm the one that's laughing now, kind of thing.
yeah.
So
It always plays that way, doesn't it? Especially with like karma, I guess.
yeah,
Um, you know.
and yeah, and then obviously the channel I've got now started off as a football manager, content creator.
Same. I used to do that at FM17.
I think it was 20 for me.
Was it 20?
FM 20.
Yeah,
Yeah,
done.
like doing silly little videos where it was like, oh, this is the team I've got. These are the signings I've made. This is the first two games of the season. And then the next episode would be like the 9th and 10th game of the season, and like going through the fixtures, the schedule, and basically just showing how I'd been getting on and whatnot. It was really bare bones, but I enjoyed it for a period of time, and then I just got sick of FM, to be honest.
Yeah, Football Manager is one of the ones that just like hooks you, and then it's like you're addicted to it for like so many months, and then it's like you just don't want to see it ever again when you're done with it.
How long would both of your videos be, out of interest?
10, 15 minutes.
Mine would roughly be about 20.
Yeah. Right. What series did you do? Did you do like what was it, non-league to legend?
Yeah. I did a non-league to legend every new FM. 'Cause I did it for about 3 years, but yeah, non-league to legend, and then I would always do what I called an idiot abroad, where it was like I'd be starting off right at the bottom, playing in some random country.
Yeah. What was your go-to formation?
I mean, I guess it's what it still is now. 4-2-3-1.
Oh, my man. Yes.
Man of culture, I see.
Yes.
Speaking of football, I don't know if we've all spoken about what football teams we support previously, Chris, but while we're on the topic of football, who does everybody support?
Celtic, and that's Tom Rogic up there, scoring against Aberdeen in the Scottish Cup final to secure the Invincible. That was 2017, I think that was. But yeah, Celtic used to have the season ticket. What about you guys?
Oh, it's West Bromwich Albion for me. In the Championship, no glory hunting down here. Started the season top of the league after 5 games. Haven't won once in the last 6. Absolutely falling apart. Early days still. I think we'll probably finish about mid-table, maybe just about sneak the playoffs. But yeah, we'll see.
Where are you normally like projected? Like realistically, are you a mid-table team nowadays in the Championship, or should you be constantly in the playoffs?
I'd say realistically we should be mid-table. We yo-yoed for a couple of years, and everyone seems to think that West Brom was like, are still a yo-yo team, but they forget that we finished like 8th in the Premier League the one season, and then like the season after, I think we finished 12th, and then like we just gradually started to drop down until we were relegated. And then we've just had like awful owners more recently until we've been brought out. But now we're having to work with the FA, like with all our transfers and stuff. Recently brought Mickey Johnston from Celtic as well.
Yeah, he's ass. Mate, he was turning it up in the Championship, and then he like comes back up here, and it's just, mate, he's so bad. It's weird when you see that. Like, I think it's Iwata. I think he's at Birmingham. Is it Birmingham in the Championship? Mate, he's scoring screamers for fun, but he can't get in our team. And it's like weird when, I don't know if it's just like the expectation that you have up here, kind of thing.
Can there be much of an expectation when there's
you're expected to win every game? It's like a draw is not acceptable at all.
Yeah, I mean, it should come easy though, considering the rest of the Scottish League.
Rangers are 9 points behind. It's Celtic and Aberdeen at the top.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it now then. 1 horse race.
Yep. Mate, Aberdeen are unbeaten. Well, they get beat yesterday in the cup off us. But mate, Aberdeen have been playing well.
Is it still Derek McInnes, the manager of Aberdeen?
No, he's at Kilmarnock now. It's some new guy. I can't mind his name. Mate, he only came in at the start of the season. But he's been doing well.
New manager boost, it'll wear off.
Mm-hmm. Mate, it's one of the ones, they've not got the squad depth to hang in long enough. Say like January, February time. That's when they'll start to drop. But the only thing they've got is they don't have European football.
I was going to say, surely if they're not in Europe like yourselves, they may actually find a way out of it, dependent if they're still in any of the cups.
Right, well, they get knocked. I was going to say it's 2 cups. 2 cups. Right. You get the League Cup in the finals in December, and then you get the Scottish Cup, which starts in January. Right. And that goes till March, April time, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon they'll probably maybe give you a run for your money then if they're knocked out of one already.
Nah, don't say
Of course you won't.
it.
I'm sure you'll be fine. But yeah, if anybody was wondering, I support Arsenal, the best team in the world.
Massive gunner. That's what they call it, innit? Professional
Gooner.
gunner down here.
Yeah, up the arse, as they would say.
That's one of my favourite Facebook posts.
Honestly, just
Have you
screaming
seen
at
it,
them people.
BombChop?
Yeah.
I took my mum up the arse. There you go. What a guy. I better not get clipped out of context.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be clipped, mate. Put that straight onto the TikTok. So, speaking of the newfound success of YouTube BombChop moving into the platinum industry, what was your first platinum trophy then? What kind of ignited this moving over to the new YouTube platinum? I say industry, but you know what I mean.
So the platinum that actually made me like go into the platinum community was actually Spyro the Dragon.
Mhm.
Either that or the OG, not the OG, but Spider-Man for the PS4. Those two platinums I got within like a single week, and I made the video on the Spyro as my first video.
Yeah.
But like I'd been thinking about it for like a couple of months in the lead up to that. But those were the two like platinums that really kind of like, okay, like let's do this. And I bit the bullet with the Spyro video, which again, like I always say, I'm a perfectionist. I will never be happy with anything that I edit and upload, and like, you know, my stuff's awful at times. It can always be better, but even if I produced quality, I would still feel the same. It can always be better. But yeah, that's what got me into it. Really, that's the platinum.
I mean, I feel like
this?
that's a common.
I was going to say, have you
Sorry,
done the whole
Chris.
Spiral trilogy?
I haven't. I've done the second one. Off like away from YouTube. Like I just did it like on a rainy day one day, and I haven't played number 3 yet.
Because the platinum name for Spyro 3 is part of like it's 2024, so you get 2 months left.
Oh no way! I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I'm planning on doing it as well, but it's like I need to do Spyro 2 first, and it's like just finding time.
Why don't you just do Spyro 3 and then work backwards?
I don't know. You got to do it in order. Come on, man. You can't just jump about.
You can do what you want, mate. As opposed to being an adult. If you want to have ice cream for dinner, you can do.
No, good point. But
But no,
were you inspired by like anybody then? Like, who did you watch? Like, kind of, you were like, oh yeah, I could do platinum videos.
So the first two guys that I ever watched was Platinum Bro and Guy Ferruski, and like, you know, great guys, I'm sure, but I haven't watched any of their stuff in the last few months. Like those were the guys that got me into it, but then I've just completely like stopped watching those guys. I watch a lot of platinum YouTubers now, and those aren't two of them, to be honest. Like my biggest problem is I lurk more than I make my presence known.
Yeah.
So like, I know I've done it with a couple of your guys' videos where I've watched the video, I'll type something out like a comment, and then I instantly like, okay, that sounds stupid, or like, oh, is that going to come across like I'm trying to poach their views? So I'm like, yeah, Control A, delete, and I'll just like leave a like and move on to the next video. Like,
Yeah, I used to watch
Yeah.
their videos as well, but I've not kept up with them. It was more the podcast that they done that I liked. Just kind of listening to it in the background, but they've not done it in a while. I think it's coming back though.
it's coming back.
yeah, I
Shout
was gonna say, I think I saw they did like a 30-second video or something, like saying it was coming back.
Yeah, because I like the
It was-
three of them, like the chemistry kind of thing. Vault Boy Steve as well. I like him a lot.
It was really funny timing actually because this podcast started, or the idea was sort of there. Me and Chris were talking about it for some time and just trying to get things off the ground because it does take a while to get things moving with like naming and things like that of what we actually want to do to be different. And then I don't know if it's when our first episode dropped or when we actually committed to the name and stuff. But then I saw that they were rebooting theirs. I was like, oh no, this looks like we're do you know what I mean? Like doing it because of them. But I think it's more so that their podcast stopped and there was kind of almost a gap in the community, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But yeah, now that they're back, I guess it is great to see that because it is a fan favorite for the community.
It was something that I was looking into myself. I was chatting with there's another YouTuber called Platinum Opus. I know that
I've heard of them.
he's definitely commented on a couple of your guys' videos and tweets and stuff in the past. But like my original plan was to potentially start a podcast with him. And then I think the day that I was like really like hyping it up and being like, okay, let's do this, the NC project dropped theirs. And I was just like, nah, like if someone else has now done a podcast, like I don't want to do this one. Like we ain't going to be able to compete.
Who's the NC project?
It's two guys. One of them's got tattoos, right?
Yeah.
They're really good actually. I do like this.
I think they might be brothers. Or maybe just close friends. I don't know, but I don't watch them religiously. I've seen some of their stuff, and it's pretty decent. But yeah, they dropped theirs, and they had
I have no idea that they even have a podcast. Is it platinum related or trophy? Like, what do they do?
Yeah. They I think they stopped after like 3 episodes or something like that. But unless they've uploaded one recently that I never saw.
Yeah.
Their third one, they had Mayor Hairbear on.
Okay, pretty big hitter.
Yeah, and like it was decent. Like I listened to it while I was, grinding out something, but I just didn't see any since.
Do you think you'll reignite that idea to start your own podcast then, seeing as they have technically been a bit dormant for some time?
Probably not. I think if I'm being realistic with how my time is taken up already, I don't think I could fit in a podcast of my own. Like, appearing on one, thank you for the invite, by the way. Like I can fit this in. But if I had to think about it like every single week, I don't think I could put the time in.
You don't think you could do like 2 hours every second week?
Probably, to be honest, yeah, like a couple of hours every second week. But like I know what I'm like. If it's my baby, like I'm gonna want to put like the time, the effort in. Like it'll take over more than just those couple of hours. For instance, like if I go to work, like the moment I have any downtime at work, I'm constantly thinking like, oh, okay, like I need new ideas. I need to script this. I need to get these images sorted. I need to do this for the next video. Like it's constantly ongoing. But hopefully it won't always be this way. It's just because of my work at the moment. It's just that hectic.
Because I feel like trophy hunting is one of the ones where it's like you could have like so many different podcasts. See just how much you're grinding. I think how many hours you spend grinding on a game, and it's like however long this will be, like 2 hours, right? Now you still got like another 2 hours to grind, so it's like you just find another podcast that you stick on.
I'm pretty sure that's what I did with the Platinum podcast with Plat Bro, Guy Fruski, and I forget the other one's name.
Boy Steve.
Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, like I don't think I listened to every single one, but I definitely listened to a lot of them. Just when I was like playing random games, just grinding out, levels or certain trophies. I'd always have it on in the background.
Yeah, because they had so many episodes, you could literally just go back to like one for like a year ago and just listen along. Because that's what I used to do, and then it was like I feel like I've watched most of them. So then it was like I started listening to like your trophy list reviews and stuff like that. I would have that on in the background, and it's like you're just looking for something to listen to whilst you're grinding.
Yeah.
Out of interest, Chris, do you listen back to this podcast when you're grinding?
No, never, never. But
Why not?
Have you ever listened back?
Oh mate, I put it on in the car when I'm driving sometimes. No, I listen to it back just to make sure that everything sounds right. It's more from not because I want to listen to the sound of my own voice and things like that. I just want to make sure that it's still good, if that makes sense. Just giving it that sense check and making sure that it's engaging and whatnot. But yeah, I do love it. I don't sit there and listen to it like all in one go. I think when it drops, I'll sit and watch like the premiere of it to make sure that it's, you know, all good. And then I'll just kind of listen to it in sections as and when, just if I'm interested in what we had to say one week.
Yeah,
it is interesting.
Right? I've never listened back. I don't know what I've said. as soon as we're done, and I hit end recording, I don't know what I said. Talked about banging blue aliens this episode. So,
well, that's the thumbnail sorted, mate.
Just a Sari for Mass Effect.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's, if you do find the time, BombChop, I think it'd be a great addition to the community as well. Something that I'd definitely tune into, and as well, having a co-host to work with definitely relieves a lot of the time commitments you may be thinking about. Because I guess it's just a split of the workload, arguably. And Chris does a fantastic job running his side of the podcast, so shout out to Chris.
Yeah, shout out me.
For real. Glaze him, chat.
Yeah, hype me up.
But yeah, I think just going back to one of the earlier points, though, talking about like wanting your content to be perfect, and like when you look back at a video, you'll think, oh, like I could always do something better. I think it's such a, I say serious YouTubers, but whenever, like, anybody can be a YouTuber, right? But people that have uploaded probably over 10 videos or something, like actually uploading content, I feel like it's quite a common thing, being a perfectionist and wanting to be perfect and always wanting to improve. I'd be concerned if people didn't think that way to an extent. I don't know what the consensus is there, but
yeah, I think it was Philip DeFranco said, he was like, see, like the first 100 videos that you'll do, he's like, they'll just be bad. He's like, it doesn't matter like how much time and effort you spend into it, how good you think it is at the time. See, like 2 years later, you're gonna look back and it'll be a bad video. So just like get them out, kind of thing, get in the habit of uploading, learn, kind of thing.
In the words of Mikel Arteta, you can always be better in life, innit? But speaking of, I guess, you know, that content creation, BombChop, talk us through like your kind of process of making a video. How does it start? Is it very chaotic? Is it very organized and you've got a system, or does it vary?
I'll just wing it.
Yeah.
Nah. To be honest, like I'll have, like, you know, I've got like a list of games. I'm constantly updating that list, or like chucking games off that list. You know, I'll usually look at the guide first, not for like spoilers, just to see like what I'm getting myself into. And then I usually just jump, you know, 2 feet straight in. I'll start recording the gameplay. Usually, like, every time I earn a trophy, I will be like making notes to, like, you know, let me know basically when the trophy popped, what the trophy was for, what I'd done. Usually make notes on the story as well. A lot of my videos where I've got actually earned the platinum trophy, I've tended to talk about the story a lot, and part of me wants to kind of keep doing that, but at the same time, I'm also conflicted that I don't want to do story stuff, because obviously, especially if I'm playing like newer games, people don't want to watch it because they haven't played the game yet themselves. So, so I'm a bit conflicted with that part of it at the moment. But yeah, I usually just make notes constantly as I'm going through, record everything, and then script it all at the end, and then start, you know, editing everything together. I've got a plan to stop with, well, not stop, but to try like live content kind of thing. You know, like play the game, have my camera on while I'm playing it, because I feel like humor, like in that sense, is so much easier than like editing it all at the end, doing voiceover and trying to be funny. I just feel like voiceover humor, especially with myself, like 10 out of 10, just misses the mark. Like I just sound like a twat. But if I'm actually recording myself, I know what I'm like, and I will come out with random shit, say something stupid, or just like act weird on the camera because, as I've said earlier, I'm socially awkward. Like I can't sit still.
Would moving into that form of content, would you be moving back to live streaming this maybe?
That is something I do want to do.
Yeah.
I really want to get back into it. My main issue, and I mean it could work, but at the same time it could also fail. Most of my free time is between the hours of 2 a.m. 4 a.m.
Mm.
Like I finish work at 11:30. Takes me roughly an hour to get home. Like shower, eat. By the time I'm sat down, sometimes it's like 2 a.m.
Right, I get you.
Now, granted, a lot of people who view my videos are from the States, so it wouldn't be as late / early in the morning for them. But I don't know how it would work. I might trial it one day. I was considering potentially doing like a 1K sub stream when I eventually get to it. But we'll see.
I think with
Just
streaming,
for
you need to be
milestones.
consistent as well.
Yeah.
You need to be reliable. I will be here every Monday to Friday, 8 p.m.
And
Oh,
I feel
sounds like
like
me,
that's
Chris.
where I would fall flat because
Yeah.
I know that some nights I get home from work and I'm knackered.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
like all of last week, I got home and it's like I sat down in front of my computer and he's like, okay, let's start Crow Country now. And I've just like ended up watching somebody's video and just like, well, I can't be bothered. I'm going to bed. Now,
I
obviously,
do
I would try.
Yeah, I do feel that once it's a bit. I think streaming's a bit like going to the gym in a way. It's going to that first gym session, i.e., the first stream, is always hard to do. And like when I come away from a break and I'm like, oh, I've not done this in a week or a few days. It's like, oh, you need to psych yourself up and get into it. But then once you've got a couple under your belt and you get that routine, it kind of just falls into place. And obviously the more you do it consistently, the more people that will be turning up, and it's almost, if you schedule something in, I don't know if you're the same as me, but if I'll put out a stream schedule, I'll put them all ready on YouTube for people to have notifications. It's like I'm all holding myself account, but then there's also potentially one person waiting in the lobby waiting for this stream. It's like it's just that extra. There's some days where I don't want to stream, and I just generally don't have the energy to do so. But I think, right, let's lock in, switch on that part of the brain and just get it going. And it is a lot. It is a lot sometimes, but I'd say shoot that shot and see how it happens. And I think a good sort of thing that you've got as well is that you're eating into a different time zone as well, and a completely different sort of viewership, which, correct me if I'm wrong, there's probably not too many British content creators making content at that time. So it's almost like a gap in the market if people are interested in that.
There's definitely potential there.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, I completely agree with like it's kind of like going to the gym. Like you just got to crack on with it. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
And to be fair, when I first started, I was streaming on Twitch. And like obviously we all know what Twitch is like. Unless you're doing something spectacular, no one's gonna find you on there. And I think I had like one viewer, which like one viewer that wasn't me,
Mm-hmm.
for the most streams. But I did keep up with it for about a month. Every night, like 2 till 4. Some nights I'd go live an extra hour early. If I was off work, I'd be live a lot earlier, and I'd just go straight the way through until my end time. And I did stick with it, but in the end, it just became too much hassle.
Yeah.
Like I'd find myself getting back from work and being like, okay, now I need to edit this video. Oh, but I need to stream, and it's like I'd rather just make the video now.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
do feel like I
I
get
just
caught up in
called it.
streaming too much. and videos somewhat suffer. So I hear it.
I think the thing with streaming on Twitch as well, and it's like so many people say it, but it's like to like get big on Twitch, you need like an outside, like somewhere to pull viewers from. Like you need that to even like get started on Twitch, kind of thing.
Like 200k subs on YouTube, popping off regularly.
Or TikTok.
Check out my Twitch.
That's like the new way people do it, is through TikTok.
Yeah.
But TikTok's weird because it's like it always recommends your content to real like, people you know in real life. So that's why I stopped using it.
Yeah,
even though it's like you don't link my phone number or anything, or my Facebook or anything, it's like still people feel that I was in high school with, see, especially during lockdown. And I'm like, oh, there's Chloe's TikTok account doing stupid dances. I'm like, I don't want me to pop up doing my stupid YouTube channel on TikTok. Because I don't know if you guys are the same, but it's like there's only like maybe 2 or 3 people, like I know in my real life, that know about the YouTube channel. Like,
yeah, that's the same with me.
Yeah, I think obviously my girlfriend knows about it because I disappear for a few hours here and there. So, where are you? I'm streaming. Come and say hello. And I've not explicitly said it to my mates, but because they were subscribed to me like 10 years ago when I made Call of Duty stuff, one of my videos, one of the list videos, actually got pushed into his like algorithm, and he was like, "Oh, he's back making videos again." So he was out at the pub, and he was like, "Oh, like congrats on getting like 5k views and whatnot. Like it's popping off again." I was like, "Yeah," and then I've spoken to it like a bit more openly. It's not like a secret, but I'm also not blasting from the rooftops. Do you know what I mean? It's just grinding in the shadows.
Yeah, I've only really got a couple of my mates and my girlfriend who know, and one guy at my work who my video actually got pushed into his feed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of my list videos. And he's sound like he pulled me to the side and was like, "Oh, you know, your video came into my feed and like, you know, it was decent. Do you want people to know about it?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Don't say anything." Okay, I'll keep it to myself.
That's pretty impressive that it's like, what are the chances? I know there's probably a chance of it. Obviously, there's a chance, but like, it seems like such a small chance that somebody you happen to work with has been, you know, has a similar interest to that video and has watched it. It's pretty crazy when you deep it.
Imagine how he felt as well. He's like, right, I'll just stick it. Alex? What the? You know, like his perspective.
Yeah, gets to work with a YouTuber. It's pretty sick, if you ask me.
But any more questions we want to batter out?
Oh, I've got quite the long list.
We've got a big. I've got one. Just seen all those games behind you.
I was gonna.
Do you get any collector's editions? Like, you into that sort of stuff? Because I went through a wee phase about 10 years ago just buying collector's editions.
To be honest, no.
No, it was nothing.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not like against it. It's just more a case of I just want to own as many games as I possibly can. I mean, like today, I went to CEX and I picked up Dark Souls Trilogy in like the thick box.
Yeah, the cardboard box one.
Yeah, and it was like 40 quid. And then I had a quick Google search and got it from Amazon on same day delivery. And it
nice.
But yeah, got it for like 30 quid. So
I've got Lollipop Chainsaw and Shadows of the Damned getting shipped out this week on PS5. The PS5 versions of both games. So they should be pretty rare.
I didn't realise Shadow of the Damned actually had a physical release.
It's on Limited Run Games. You need to go on there.
Oh, okay.
You need to go on there to get it. I pre-ordered it like 3 months ago or something like that. But it gets shipped this week, so I don't know how long it'll take coming from America.
Depends who's shipping it. It can be quite good.
Yeah.
So I got a very, very poor Astrobot plush the other day. It took about 3 weeks from Japan. But I've had stuff from abroad before and it's been like a few days. I think it just depends on who's sending it.
I was going to say, ordering plushes online is probably one of the worst things I've done because they all come like in. Do you know those vacuum bags we suck out the air?
Yeah.
They put
Yeah.
the plushes into those, and it like crumples it up and creases it sometimes.
Right.
So I'm like,
My Astrobot had like a pancake head. It was flat as hell. I mean, it looks atrocious, but like it looked even worse when it was pancaked before I like puffed it up and got it to actually sit still right.
yeah, it can be a bit of a nightmare. I'll just try and get it in person if I can do. Seems to be the way forward. Physical, right? Doing things.
But yeah, back to what you was asking, Chris. Like, I'm not against getting collector's editions. Like, I am starting to look more into that side of things. It's just so far, it's just games. Like, I haven't got any like special editions. Well, I've got the odd one or two here and there, but nothing major where you get like the figurine with it or anything like that.
Yeah, because it's one of the ones where it's like I kept buying them and then it just takes up so much space. It's like, I know I get space from where. And then there's also ones where it's like Fallout 4. I get the collector's edition of that with the Fallout, the Pit Boy thing on your arm. I get that. I think that was like £120 I paid. And mate, I hated Fallout 4. I think it's like one of the worst Fallout games ever. And I'm like, I spent all that money on it. But it's one of the ones, it's just, especially seeing now, like the price of everyone's went right up. Like it used to be like £60 for a collector's edition, but back 10 years ago. Now it's 70 for a regular. It's just not worth the money anymore.
Okay, I don't understand, right? How, speaking of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, you can buy the collector's edition, which is the Vault edition, right? For like £100, over £100. And it's a digital collector's edition. Like, you just get a season pass and a few skins. It's like, we are transitioning into such an awful age of gaming where like physical collections are literally a dying art. Like it's
just DLC
it's
codes
scary.
now. We need to go
DLC
back to
codes.
Dead Island Riptide with a zombie bust. That's what we need to go back to. Need more of them.
Yeah, I bet that fetches a pretty penny now.
It must do.
But yeah. What's coming up for content on the channel then, Alex? What have you got cooking? Can you share anything, or is it top secret?
I mean, I've got a couple of like top secret kind of things in the works. So for the foreseeable future, at least, just more of the same.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the trophy list reviews. It like more than anything, it's just easy content. It helps the channel just keep ticking over while I'm working on other things.
Yeah.
I've got a couple more games that, well, I say a couple. I think I've got 8 videos that I could edit. Some as far back as like 4 or 5 months ago, and probably can't even remember exactly how I earned the platinum anymore.
Yeah, I've got a few involved like that.
But yeah, other than that, I've a couple more lists as well, but I'm trying to hold off with those. But yeah, just more of the same. And then I've got a couple of things that one that I'm working on, one that I'm still in like the planning stage. I don't really know how they're going to perform. I think the one will perform really well, because it's going to be like probably over an hour. Video
is it like a challenge? I'm assuming if it's
like kind of like a semi challenge. And then the other one is something that I haven't seen as of yet on YouTube. It's platinum related, but it's not about me getting the platinum.
okay.
So I'll when I upload it, I guess I'll see how it goes.
I made this subscriber get my platinum trophy.
Nah.
No.
Mate, if I could, someone's got to do 5 easier for me. That game still escapes me. Annoys the hell out of me.
What about collabs? Because I remember you done Dead Island, I think it was Riptide, with Mr. Leaning. And I remember that was a good video, I liked that one. Collabs coming up?
I haven't got any at the moment. I am currently playing through a couple of things with other people, which may turn into videos, but it's not like an active collab as of this moment.
Yeah.
That Mr. Leaning versus we're currently 2 trophies off Rainbow Six Extraction.
Oh, I need
Nice.
to do that myself. Is it difficult?
It's not difficult. The one trophy in the game that's really stupid, in my opinion, because the game is meant to be played multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
You have to interact with 100 points of interest, but the points of interest only are interactable if you're playing alone.
That's so weird.
So you kind of
That's
like,
very strange.
yeah, like the trophy goes completely against what the game's meant to be. And then there's another one where it's like you need to earn over 30,000 points XP in 5 matches. You have to do like specific weekly events for that.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the weekly events, like they're some of them are just really rough. Like, you know, oh, you need to pick up this specific item and carry it to the point. The moment you pick it up, like all the aliens just appear out of nowhere and all just rush you, and it's manic. It really is.
What's the difficulty for the platinum?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't think
it might
it's
be like a
that
6.
high.
What would you personally give it a score of so far?
So on PSMP, it's a 4 out of 10.
Right.
But nah, to be honest, I would probably say that is the case because,
Okay.
like I said, the weekly events sometimes they're pretty simple. Well, simple, more simple. Other times they're just really, really difficult.
Let me get you.
And yeah, and the other one is I'm currently playing Outlast Trials
Oh,
with that Platinum Opus.
Nice.
We're right at the start with it. We haven't touched it in like over a week just because we've both been so busy, but that could potentially turn into something in the future.
Yeah,
I'm recording it anyway.
yeah, I think Shaz done a video on that as soon as it came out, and it was a good video. And I was like, man, I want to play that so bad. But my pal, like, he's an absolute shite bag, and he's like, I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it. I'm like, mate, please, like, it'll be hilarious. But he refuses.
It's not a bad game. I've never really been into the Outlast franchise.
The first one
But
was really good back in
Yeah, I
the day.
played the first, but the second one I started and I just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, I've not played the second. I've heard horror stories. Pardon the pun.
Oh, mate, the Platinum's meant to be like a 10, a 9 or a 10. It's meant to be solid.
yeah, see,
In terms
Outlast
of,
Trials, it's only like 3 out of 10 or something like that.
okay, it's fairly reasonable for a platinum at least. In terms of, it sounds like you've got a lot of potential collaboration videos as such cooking in the background. If you could actively say sort of one collaboration you'd want within the community, what have you thought about that? Of
Or
I guess
even
more,
outside the community, just like a
yeah, even
YouTuber
outside.
or a streamer.
I mean, anyone, it would probably have to be either Tim the Tapman. Like, I've watched him for years. You know, someone of the size or as close to as, like, you know, Mr. Beast. Not particularly Mr. Beast, especially with all, like, you know, what's going on behind the scenes. But someone with that level of subscribers, viewers, power, should we
It's like
say?
the biggest channels kind of thing.
Yeah, like, you
maybe
know,
a Kai Kent or something.
yeah, or oh, what's that guy's name? Yeah, it's escaping me. But in terms of like platinum content, I think either Satire, because, you know, his videos are just goated.
Also, he's also dropped a new video. Everybody
I-
listening,
yeah, I've seen it. It's another banger.
it is. He definitely. I was watching it, and just his editing is just perfect. I'm
Yeah.
about to glaze him too much. Like, I was watching it, and I was like, "This is so fucking good!" Like, it's just so smooth. It's so sleek, and it's like when he puts up a community post, you can understand that the reason why it's taken so long is because it just looks so fucking good. Like, it just works.
Is that who yours would be as well, Leon, then? Like
Collaboration.
Collab, yeah.
Oh man, I think the man that brought me here would be Mr. Snam, which is I think
Snam.
that's Mr.
Oh
Snam.
yeah,
he
To be
just
fair,
seems like such a great. I mean, everyone in the community is a great guy, but it's just of his caliber, he's probably one of the largest, and he's still involved with sort of everybody and knows a bit about them, sort of thing. Like
Hmm.
I joined the stream and he was, oh, congrats on 1K. It's like, like, do you know what I mean? He just seems like a great guy.
Yeah,
Again,
even
just
in like the Discord, like he was helping me with the fight night thumbnail. Like, nah,
yeah,
he's like, nah,
like
make this bigger, move that aside, change this, change that. And I was like,
so
mate,
yeah.
see, say especially like somebody that size, like taking like time out to help you,
Mm.
well, it's appreciated.
Yeah, I think that's. I mean, I'd love to collab with anybody. To be honest, it's as long as it's natural. I think that's the. If it happens naturally, is the big thing for me.
Hmm.
yeah, I
I
mean,
wouldn't want to force it.
I'm pretty much the same, to be honest. I know I've just mentioned like a few like big people. Bushido, Cypher is another one
Yes,
that I would
another
say.
big one.
But like in terms of like what I'd actually be willing to do, like I'm happy to collab with absolutely anybody,
Yeah,
providing that kind of, as you said, it's just natural. Like I don't want to be forced into collabing with somebody that doesn't want to collab with me.
Hmm.
yeah,
But if it's just chilling, having a laugh on the game, and it turns into something, then happy days.
yeah. I think that's the big thing with collabs is it almost does have to happen organically, sort of thing. You just have to by chance be in the right. I say room, probably the right Discord channel nowadays because everything's virtual. You just kind of need to be in the right place, and you sort of get the low level chat happening, and then eventually maybe it sprinkles into something magical and works. But Chris, what are you saying?
I
Who are
think
you wanting to?
if you stay in the community, it would be Snam. But
Mm,
if you go outside the community, I reckon I could make a fun video with Wings of Redemption. See if like I would see like Dead Space 3 or something like that, where it's like co-op, like we need each other. I
yeah,
reckon I could wind him up a good bit. I reckon that'd be fun.
yeah. I've never like thought of it outside of the community as well, which is like a really great idea. Um, because yeah, I just have been so sort of like tunnel vision of just the platinum world. But I think out of the community, I'd actually love to work with Benny Central.
Yeah, the COD guy.
Yeah, because I just think in terms of content, he's very switched on and he knows everything about the algorithm. Like he knows what works and what doesn't. So it's I guess it's less so the collaboration and just being able to sit with a genius almost and
Yeah,
be like,
just like
right,
steal some of that knowledge.
yeah, do you know what I mean? Because he's just so knowledgeable, and he seems like again, just seems like a generally decent lad as well. Yeah, I like how we've all set the bar so high. Maybe when we revisit in 100 episodes, we'll have all of those magical collabs.
Imagine.
But so, I
Right.
mean, speaking of collabs as well, we've kind of opened the door to outside the trophy hunting. Is there any content that you guys would want to create that's not platinum focused? I'll probably still say maybe gaming related, but moving away of the platinum world. Have you thought about content outside of what we're doing right now?
Mm.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like
Have you got?
I kind of already started to have a bit of a dabble
Yeah.
into non-platinum stuff. Um, like I'd love to do stuff on like collecting, showing off the games that I've brought and stuff like that. Um, like personally, I'd love to get back into vlogging. I
Yeah.
loved it back in the day. Just talking about random
Just
like
chopping it up.
topics, and then like interacting with like whoever's viewed it and whoever's left comments, and then just building and building and building up from that. I don't think
Would you?
it's viable for me at the moment. Like I need to put all my focus into the platinum stuff,
Yeah.
but who knows? Maybe in the future.
Would you start a new channel for it? Like,
Already,
channel
I
two?
already have.
Oh, have you?
Yeah,
There we go. I was gonna say it's. I don't know if I'd want to split. I know obviously people create their channels for one thing and then they make a second channel to do other things, but I think I'd just try and keep it all in one place, to be honest. I know
yeah.
it kind of ruins the algorithm, but I
So
don't
that was my thought process. Like,
know.
if I put it all onto my current channel, would it completely like ruin any traction that I've currently got?
Yeah.
So I've put it onto like a second channel, and like it's very bare bones. I've not tried to push it or anything like that. I'm literally just posting whatever I feel like posting on there. I think I've got like 4 videos on there, and like I've got about 60 accumulated views. It's like really, really bare bones and untouched.
Yeah.
But,
Are you able to shout out the channel in case anybody wants to
I mean,
take
it's
a look
just,
to do?
to be honest, it's just BombChop 2.
Yeah, nice and simple.
But yeah, it's basically just talking about the games that I've brought from the months that have passed. And then I did a video on the Astrobot plush that I mentioned earlier, because it is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, I may need to watch this to actually see it, see how bad it is.
But they are like really bare bones. Like there's no editing at all.
Yeah,
It's literally just like
just
camera
raw.
on, flicking between like Amazon and back to full cam. Obviously made sure that like my address wasn't there and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really bare bones. Like I haven't gone in depth. Of course, I'd like to go more in depth with it, but not at the moment.
What about you, Leon? And you've wanted to like spread into?
Um, I think for me, it's always going to be gaming related sort of thing. I mean, at the minute, it's obviously been platinum, but I've done some video essays and things like that, and sort of deep dives into series. Uh, it's difficult because I've already done it. If that makes sense, I feel like I'm not siloed into one lane, despite being in the platinum community. I think probably like vlogging and things like that, but I feel like that comes when you get more popular and people are a little bit more interested in what you're doing, and it's not a mundane video of me sitting actually working my full-time job. If you're at the point where you're big enough not to work a full-time job anymore, you're like, all right, cool, we're going to this convention today or whatever, and it's actually worthwhile content. Um, yeah, I mean, I think it would just stick within gaming, to be honest. I've always been interested in like filmmaking and things like that, but it's a completely different world. Like it wouldn't even be associated with the Defroth name and things like that. But it's always been a little spark inside of me that I've always found interesting, sort of the creative side of things and short films.
I feel like vlogging's one of the ones where it's like you need a pure interest in life for like,
Yeah,
anybody to watch it.
I don't
And
know.
it's like you
Maybe
kind of
people
need
would
to force yourself like into constant
to do stuff.
scenarios. Yeah.
Yeah, like instead of ordering these Pokemon cards on Amazon, I'm actually driving to the store that's 45 minutes away, and like you'll just put the vlog camera up and things like that.
And
I
also
mean, I
like
see a lot
vlogging
of
in public as well.
yeah. To be fair though, people don't really care. Do you know what I mean? People go
Nah,
about their lives, they
I
don't give a
care.
fuck.
But I can't do it. I've tried. I had my phone
Mm,
out. I was recording myself as I was walking through the shopping centre. Anytime someone came walking towards me, like the phone was hidden.
really.
No, I
I feel
can't do
like
it.
is it a confidence thing though? I feel like I wouldn't be comfortable doing it the first time, but I feel like once you do it more, it's probably easier, maybe.
I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's confidence and just like because it's like newish to me. Like, especially related around gaming. Like for instance, there's a store literally like down the road from me. Does all like retro games, and like a pretty big YouTuber went in there a couple of months ago, and like I watch all his stuff, and like I ended up meeting him in there and whatnot, and I've started talking with the owner every time I've gone there since.
Mm,
And like even with him knowing like that guy did it when he was in the store, if I then tried to do it myself, I'd still feel a bit dodgy, like walking around his store filming his stock. Like
yeah.
you know, same with like I've seen a lot of people where they film inside a CEX, and it's like I don't feel comfortable getting my phone out and filming the rows and rows of trash that people have traded in. But I guess like once you do it once, I guess it just becomes more and more natural, I suppose.
It's just like getting used to it kind of thing. So what is it? Is it like exposure therapy or something like that, I think it's called, where it's like you just keep doing it and it's like eventually you just stop caring what people think. I think
Yeah, I
my thing would be
mean,
like getting shouted at whilst I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Oh, you fat prick. Oh, shit, okay. You start all over again. Cheers for that, mate.
do you know what? It's content though, baby. That's the type of
Me
stuff that
getting
goes viral,
abused in
isn't
the
it?
mall.
Yeah, just hecklers. Heckler attacks YouTuber.
Now, I think for me, it'd be if I was to like record, and let's say like someone's walking past, and even if they aren't on the camera, it's like, oh, why are you recording me, you dickhead? And then try and start something like like that kind of stuff. Like I don't want the confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think I've thought of the perfect solution, right? Is you get a green screen and you just have like a POV of like a mall behind you, like walking, and then you hold your phone up and pretend that you're actually walking the shopping centre in the comfort of your own home. No social interaction, which would be perfect.
Happy days.
Sounds like a plan.
Next generation of videos.
So speaking on videos, right? This is something I
Yes,
always
sir.
want to ask somebody. Is somebody like sees this, they're like, oh, I like this guy, I like BombChop. What is like the one video of yours where it's like, go watch it, like your best video, like the one you're most proud of, kind of thing?
Good question, Chris.
Ooh. See, my most proud video is probably my first one because I actually bit the bullet and edited it and uploaded it. I finally did it and it kind of got the ball rolling. But at the same time, I probably wouldn't tell them to go and watch that one.
Yeah.
I'd probably go with my One Piece Odyssey video.
One Piece. I don't even think I've seen that one.
The
It's
latest one, or one of the latest ones, right?
no, not my latest one. The one from about I think it was about 7 or 8 months ago. It's my most viewed platinum trophy video. Like not including like the lists and stuff. It's my most viewed one. It took me the longest to achieve and edit, and it kind of paid off with the amount of views it got compared to every other video. And I think that might have been the first video I did when I switched over from Sony Movie Maker, whatever it was called, to DaVinci as well. So like I had a lot more tools at my disposal.
Was it
So
Sony
yeah,
Vegas?
it used to be Sony Vegas, but like I think it changed to Sony Movie
Right.
Studio.
And then it became Magix, like MAGIX.
Yeah, Movie Studio Platinum, number 16. So it's like quite an old one.
And you found DaVinci better
Yeah,
for more tools? Mate, I might need to swap because I've been using Sony Vegas.
I like don't get me wrong, there are a couple of things that I found were better in Sony Vegas, Sony Movie Studio, but DaVinci is just so much simpler and there's a lot more that I can do on it. And of course, because I've just been doing more and more videos as time has gone by, I've just learnt more and thought of new ideas and stuff like that as well.
Because I've just kind of always stuck with, mate, I'm stuck in 2010 to be honest. Because it's like, see, back then it was like everybody used the Sony Vegas to edit. Everybody
Yeah, I heard
used
about this.
the Blue Yeti, so I'm still getting my Blue Yeti. They would use Audacity to like record the voiceover, and he's got the Blue Yeti as well. They'd use
Sorry, guys,
Audacity,
we're
and
in
mate, he's a new man.
Great purchase, by the way.
But it's like, see, even like my voiceover clips, like when I use Audacity, I still use like the same settings as like from a video that I watched 10 years ago. So I need to get with the times, man.
I was going to say, speaking of like video editing and YouTube, obviously there's so many great content creators out there. What's sort of one aspect of your videos, Alex, that you'd want to, I guess improve on or add something in that you're not quite doing yet? If you know what I mean.
Everything.
Everything.
Now, I don't know. Like, I feel like all of the videos that I've done so far, I feel like when I'm reading from the script, it's too obvious that I'm reading from the script. Like, I need to like learn to be more expressive with my voice, and not sound so like kind of robotic, I guess.
Yeah.
But my biggest problem is if I try and like just go off notes and freeball it, I will mess up what I'm trying to say. Like even with a script, sometimes it will take me like 10 attempts to read off one sentence and get every word correct without slurring something or completely butchering a name. Things like that. So I'd probably go with that.
Yeah, I think there's something that just the more content you do, just the more comfortable and the more it flows a little bit more, because I'd say a lot of, whether it's when I've restarted the channel up within the last year, I look at that stuff and I go, oh, like my delivery was really bad and not very engaging. And I look back 10 years ago, I used to do a Call of Duty series called like Road to Stardom. I done like 60 episodes of me just doing commentaries. The first one was I was just so boring. And then I saw sort of towards the later episodes, there's a bit more sort of like, faster paced and things like that. So it is one of those things that it just comes naturally, the more you do stuff.
I mean, like with a few of my videos, like my girlfriend is subscribed to me, but she doesn't watch. She doesn't care. Like if anything, she hates that I do YouTube because it means that I've got to spend less time with her.
Oh, no.
But like she's a good egg, but she's like so not internet focused. Like she's living in the real world, so to speak. But like even she turned around on one of my first videos and was like, "You just sound bored." And I was like, "Okay, so next video I need to be a bit more upbeat." So like my next one I started, it was like, "Hey, how's it going, guys? Let's go. It's BombChop here. We're gonna do this today." And then like
Just did a
halfway
360 no scope.
yeah, and then halfway through the video, it was like, yeah, so and yeah, so then I got this trophy, and I can't be bothered, and like, I've just got to get back to, well, not back to, but I just need to keep that enthusiasm throughout the whole of the video, and also stop making myself sound like I am reading from a script and like a robot.
I think that's
How
like
do you?
so hard to do though, because it feels like, see when I try and do it, it just feels fake. Like it feels like inauthentic. Like that ain't me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never gonna start a video like, "Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy back again." You know what I mean? Like that ain't me. So I'm never gonna do it.
I mean, I don't really go that hard with any of them. I think the most like enthusiastic I try to come across is at the start of all my trophy list videos. It's like, okay, so we got another trophy list video for you today, and then like the reason why I like those trophy list videos is because I don't do it scripted. I literally just do it free balling, and like you can tell that they're more natural. Whereas with like the fully edited videos, like I'm trying to make sure I don't do anything wrong or say anything wrong. And as I said earlier, if I'm trying to edit in some humour, I just feel like I'm always missing the mark. Where if I said the same thing while I was freeballing, it would probably hit the mark. Just like it's weird. Like I don't think I'm like that funny of a guy, but if you was to ask my friends like what I'm like in real life, they would say that I'm pretty funny. But in terms of like transitioning that to YouTube, like I'm just not there or even close at the moment.
Yeah, it's like off the cuff. You can make like funny remarks, but see, like try to force a joke into a script.
Yeah.
Struggle with that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd definitely say if you're recording content live, I find it a lot easier to make jokes. I've tried to insert a couple of like, I don't know, your mum jokes or your girlfriend jokes or things like that into some videos, and it does feel a bit forced. I'm like, oh, it's not really me, to be honest.
Yeah.
It works for some channels. I think, is it that Illusions guy that pumps out platinum videos? He always does stuff like that. But his content's obviously a lot shorter, and it's a 10-minute video, and of course it's going to be really fast paced, and it works for that. But yeah, it is difficult trying to make funnies with a voiceover. It's always easier if you build up to it, and then the funny is a bit of live content. I find that's probably the best way, and like a lot of other creators do it like that.
So I think going back to the channel then, like, what's your like goal with YouTube? Like long term big goal.
Okay, so long term, I'd probably have to go with just getting to 1K subs right at this moment in time.
How many are you at the moment? You're pretty
I'm at
close.
I'm at 921, I believe, as of recording.
You'll hit
So
that by the end of the year.
I was
so
going to
like
say, by the end of this podcast, chat, pump them up to 1K, please, at BombChop on the tuber.
fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But now uh, like my initial goal is 922, and then it's 923. Like
Baby
every
steps.
yeah, baby steps all the way. But long term goals, like if I can get to 1K, that will be like unreal. Like when I started, I didn't expect it at all. Like I know it's nothing in comparison to like many other YouTubers, but like it was actually something that Leon said in one of his streams that kind of like resonated with me, and it was like if you've got 30 people all sitting in a room with you, that room's full.
Mm.
And like it just hit me like from that moment. It was like, you know what, even if I have a video that kind of like flops but it still gets 100 views, that's 100 people that have actually clicked on my video, and that's 100 people more than I would have got if I didn't put the video out in the first place.
So have you not got like any goals outside of like subscribers then?
Like obviously I just want to kind of keep going as I am. Like my the subs and views, obviously, if they keep increasing, that'll be brilliant. I'd be lying if I was to say that I don't want to make money from YouTube. Like I feel like anyone that can make money from YouTube will make money from YouTube. But
Would you like to go full time? Like, is that?
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like if I could stop my job, like without a second thought, like even if it meant like my job currently, like I get paid quite well for what I do. But even if like YouTube money was enough just to pay my bills, I would be happy. Straight up. Like I wouldn't quit my job straight away, but I'd need it to be consistent for a period of time. But 100%, if I could leave my job and go full time, I would. But that's a long way away and a lot of work to go before I get anywhere near that.
Hey man, all it takes is one viral video. That's all you need.
I mean, who knows?
What about you, Leon? You get any goals outside of like subs full time?
Um, I don't really think about it too much. I think for me, it's just a hobby at the end of the day. Like, if I wasn't streaming, I'd be doing it anyway in my spare time. I think, everyone's dream to be a full-time content creator. I think, yeah, of course, I wouldn't say no or close that door. I mean, I'd still try and keep my job and run YouTube alongside it as much as possible until it was generally, financially safe to stop working. But yeah, it's, of course, the people supporting the channel is always, I'm so thankful for people, donating their hard-earned money. But it's not really about that for me, I've got a good job. Just do it for the love of the game,
Mm.
Yourself, Chris?
Nah, the one goal I've always had with YouTube was like to get big enough to the point where it's like, see, especially with trophy hunting, that you can go, see this 10-year-old game that nobody's playing, but we need online trophies. Like, you're big enough that you can get a community to repopulate these dead servers. That's always been like a goal of mine, where it's like you can just take these dead games and like maybe for like a night or a weekend, you can just bring them back to life. You know what I mean? That's like long term goal. I'd love to do that at some point, but that's miles away. But
I was going to
hopefully
say,
one day we get there.
one day we will be there, buddy. Seeing your little plaque behind you as well, I do have to say I'd love, like, is it the 100K plaque you get? I think
Yeah,
I know it's
100K.
obviously such a materialistic thing, but I just think that'd be so cool to have
That
in your
wasn't
house.
even like foreign. That was just like YouTube emailed me and they were like, "You got a Lego button?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I do. I get
That's so
this,
sick.
and I get a bucket hat, but I don't wear bucket hats. I'm not a weapon, so
Mate, I reckon you should put the bucket hat on for next
Yeah,
stream.
defo.
I'll need to find that. I'll put the bucket hat on next episode.
Please do. That's
I
quite
think it
sick.
was tight on my head, but I'll find it. But yeah, that's my YouTube goals. So one game, BombChop, from your childhood that gets a platinum added to it. What are you going for?
One game. Ooh.
Not maybe not even your childhood. We'll say like a game that doesn't have a trophy list that you want to get a platinum on.
Gears of War.
Or Gears of War.
Yeah, Gears of War 1, 2, and 3. Like, if they brought those over to PlayStation, 100% I'm going for them.
So, how
I
did
think
you
they might, by the way,
progress?
as a side.
How did you progress through consoles then and PC? Like, what did you go?
So, because of like League of Legends being in the mix, like I spent a lot of years literally playing that and nothing else. I had a couple of years where it was like Call of Duty and nothing else as well. It was like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360 for like the longest of time. Short stint with PS3, onto PS4 and then PS5. I've owned every console made. Well, no, not every console made, but
I was gonna say
every
that's quite a lot.
every console since the PlayStation 1, except for the Nintendo Wii U. But I haven't really spent that much time on a lot of them.
Nintendo's for children anyway, mate. You're fine.
Oh, the views shared by Chris are not the views of at least Leon. That's a wild thing to say.
It is, mate. It's true. If you want to play like real proper games, your PlayStation, your Xbox, your PC, Nintendo's for
mate.
women and children. There you go.
I'll have you know that Lollipop Chainsaw is actually on Nintendo Switch. So I know how much you love that game. That's on
Mate,
Switch.
imagine
That's
how
on
bad
Nintendo.
that runs on a Switch.
Awfully. A bit like the PS5 version.
Mate, you might need to do that. Compare it, see what's worse. No, but I've always viewed Nintendo as just like for children, pretty much.
I think it's a good stepping stone for people that aren't really gamers, like i.e. kids. Like I think it's a good and also cheap, arguably, starting place. I know obviously Switches are quite
I
expensive
think the
now.
games are expensive though on Nintendo. Like they hold their
But
value a lot.
yeah, they hold value. But I mean, you do get a lot from the games. I mean, I've not really played a recent Pokemon game, but the DS and things like that, the Pokemon games I've got on that. You can just always go back into it. It may be 40 quid, but I definitely feel like I get my money's worth from Nintendo games at least. I don't play them often, but definitely worth it.
I mean, I've had a Switch for pretty much since it came out, and the only games I own are the Pokemon games, and most of them, in truth, I've never even finished. Like, I'll take my Switch on holiday with me. I'll wait for a few hours, like while I'm there, and then I come back and I don't really touch it.
I mean, I guess one of the benefits is that it's so easy to jump into the Nintendo games because there's not really much of a learning curve, is there? There obviously is for some, but I'm confident you could pick a Pokemon game up pretty much anywhere.
Yeah,
and be
pretty
fine.
much.
I've not played Pokemon since Yellow. It was the last Pokemon game I played.
What was that, Game Boy?
Yeah, Game Boy Color. I had the wee Pikachu limited edition one.
Jeez.
Yeah, I was a baller when I was a kid, mate.
Yeah, how come you never transitioned over to the DS?
Just
Well, I went-
nah. I think I did have a DS and I played Nintendogs, but it was like I never actually played much of it. It was actually quite funny looking back because it's like I was playing Nintendogs. Well, I had a dog called Star, a Labrador Black Lab, so I'd be playing with Star on the Nintendo DS, playing with him, and then the real one's just sitting in front of me like, mate, I'm bursting, mate. It'd be fun class if you could take me into the street. I'm just like, oh, I'm playing with this dog.
Have I told the Nintendo dog story? And
Don't think so.
oh well, strap in for some trauma, boys.
Oh, here we go.
I had Nintendo dogs, right? And obviously, when I was younger, we just weren't allowed pets. So Nintendo dogs was the perfect solution. And if you don't look after your dogs, they can get like fleas and stuff, can't they? And like when you go to shower them, there's like really dirty and stuff if you don't go on the game for a day or two.
Right.
And had like, I think it's literally the dog on the box art, like a golden Labrador or Retriever or something.
Yeah.
And his name was Ty, right? This is how much I had an emotional attachment with this dog. And it got to the point where like I wasn't looking after my dogs, so my mum was going onto my DS and like tending to them after a few days. And in the game, I guess it's how you delete dogs. You just send them to the vet
Send
or
them to the
something.
farm.
Like yeah, send them away. And so then you can get more dogs. But she got rid of my prized possession, Ty. Like she said it ran away, and I was like, I generally believed her that in this game the dogs could run away, so I made sure that like none of my other dogs ran away. And yeah, honestly heartbroken that she got rid of my first ever dog.
Little Ty.
Little Ty, rest in peace, buddy. You got deleted from the from the world.
So we get any more questions that we want to ask?
I mean, I do have a couple more. I don't know how much longer we want to keep going for, but I'd say I could
No, we can
probably,
keep going.
yeah. I'd say for me, have you got any sort of? I'm gonna keep this. This was like for two different like sections, but I'll just group it together. Have you got like any hot takes or I guess dislikes regarding the trophy and platinum community, or in a wider aspect, YouTube as a whole? Is there anything potentially controversial, or something different that you stand up for?
Not really. I mean, like in terms of YouTube, like I dislike how I just cannot figure it out. Like the algorithm is so complex. Like one day it feels like I can hit a video 1 out of 10 on the ranking. The next time I edit a video and I'm thinking, oh, this is going to smash it out of the park, and it is a 10 out of 10, like bottom of the barrel, gets like no views at all, no interactions, nothing. And it's like, okay, I spent 5 hours editing that one, I spent 40 hours editing this one, and that one performed so much better. And the only thing I can think is the algorithm. Like, obviously, there's it's a lot more complex than just the algorithm, but it's almost impossible to figure out. At least for me, anyway.
It just feels so random. Like it's even like there's the amount of times that videos I've done, like Last of Us. I spent ages on that video, and I was like, this is peak. This is like the best I'll ever produce. And then I can't remember how many views it got. Say like 500 or something. And then it was like Fight Night, a video where it was like I just chat it out. It took like 3 hours to make. And it's like boom, 200k. And I was like, it doesn't make any sense. Like there's no pattern that you can find, kind of thing. It just seems so random.
Yeah, I think thumbnails are probably the biggest thing that helps with the algorithm. Is whether obviously your video needs to be good and the intro needs to be captivating, but I think thumbnails are so key in getting them right, because as well within the platinum community it's always changing of what's hot and what's not.
Yeah, because like I remember at one point it was like all the rage to put your own face in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
And I hated doing that because like I at the time I hadn't got my green screen set up or anything like that, so I had to like go into like Canva, Shutterstock, and basically like zoom right in on my own face and take out like all the background. And even then, like on one of the videos on the thumbnail, like my fingers pointing, and if you look closely enough you can see that I've cut one of my fingers off. And it's like, yeah, but thumbnails is a good shout.
See, I've never liked the thumbnails, the ones where it's like the person in the... See, it's always like the same like 3-4 faces that they pull. every time.
Yeah.
And every time I see it, like, I just never click on it. Like, it's an instant turn off kind of thing.
But it works the same face. I feel like once you've found a face that works, or like a selection of faces that you've obviously taken, they just work. So it's like until I guess the algorithm changes.
I'm not so sure it is the thumbnail though, because like if you look at some of the biggest like React YouTubers, say, you know, like let's take Sniper Wolf. You know, every single one of her videos is the same two faces, and like there's nothing special about that face, and all those returning viewers aren't going back because of that thumbnail. At least I don't think it's because of the thumbnail. It's because of the lazy content that she does.
I was gonna say I'm not familiar with the content, so I can't comment. How many subs do they have?
She used to do
Over
COD
100
videos.
million.
Yeah, she used to do COD
Yeah.
videos back in the day, Sniper Wolf.
So I was gonna say once you're that large on YouTube, assuming your following is
Yeah, I guess.
active, you probably like, it doesn't really matter what you can be quite relaxed with. Do you know what I mean?
It's like you're
People
not
are-
pulling in new viewers.
Yeah.
You've got
Yeah.
a subscriber base that you're building off.
I will.
Sorry, mate.
No, I was just gonna say A and B testing. I don't know who's used it or has access to it yet as part of one of the YouTube features. I don't like it. I know some creators have had success with it, others haven't, and I think my stance is if you're a smaller creator like myself, A and B testing will hurt your channel because the two videos that I've done it on. And again, it's I can have an internal reflection and go, my videos were quite shit. There's always room for improvement, blah blah blah, which is true. But they've just it just doesn't grow. I'm like, oof. I thought thought those thumbnails looked semi all right and whatnot. And it's like sometimes the results as well. You're like, really? People are clicking on that? But no, I just find it really stunts the growth of a video and it just dies. Like it just doesn't move. Like
I mean, with that A and B testing, of course, like it sends that thumbnail to a percentage of the viewers or percentage of people who it would go into their feed. Like if you've got a good thumbnail versus a poor thumbnail, of course, literally just depending on which one gets pushed to them could be the view or not. So I think you are right. It is better suited for bigger YouTubers. I've used it on one video so far, and the video performed okay. But if I hadn't have used it and I used the correct thumbnail, would it have performed a lot better? So it's one of them. I guess it's hit and miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the two times I used it, it just killed them. Just killed the videos. So I think that when I do the next one, I'll just find a thumbnail and just stick it up. Pray, hope for the best.
Yeah, I think that is the way forward. Just every video that I've done has been fine, sort of thing. You can see consistent views, and then I used it again for my most recent Walking Dead video, and just I had a nice little peak, but then just stopped moving. And it's like the other one I used it on was my Deadpool challenge, and that's just I know it was obviously very oversaturated at the time, even though I did it like a month before everyone else dropped their videos. But it's like I don't know. Still thought I would have picked up a bit of traction somewhere because it was a bit different. But hey, maybe my content's just bad. So.
Going back to the original question though, the other thing, obviously, regarding YouTubers, I'm obviously not gonna like mention names or anything, but
no, let's get some drama started.
Yeah,
You mention the names.
I'm not getting any. Not getting any enemies.
What about if you tell us, just slip us a bit of paper and we'll say it under the table?
I'll say it for you, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I've called it a few
now,
people.
I mean, like 99% of the YouTube Platinum community is like sound. Like I've not had any negative interactions with any of them. Well, I've had one negative interaction.
Is this a YouTuber or just a random person?
YouTuber.
Okay.
Oh, who is it?
Who is it?
No, because I'm not gonna cuss them out because it might have just been a bad day for them, or it might have just been lost. Like maybe that video of theirs, they just never got the notification or something.
A few moments later.
Alright, so BombChop has just gave us all the dirt on every platinum YouTuber. So let's just swap topic, moving on swiftly.
Yeah,
Just filled with
promise
rants.
it won't get leaked.
Yeah.
Highest bidder, right?
We'll leak it when he's big, when he's massive,
Yeah.
get that payday. But
Sell it to the sun.
how many platinums have you got, do you know?
I have 88 as things stand.
88. So what is like your favourite that you've done then? Out of the whole lot?
I'd probably go with either Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth or One Piece Odyssey. Both turn-based combat, which is probably my favourite genre, to be honest. Both like 75-ish hours, like that it took for
Long
the platinum.
plats.
But I've got a very low attention span, and both of those games just kept me going. Like I loved both of them. I just kept going until the platinum was popped, and I even carried on with Like a Dragon. I carried on playing it afterwards, like all the mini games and just fighting and stuff.
Have you done any of the other Yakuza games?
I haven't. I think I'm 1 or 2 trophies off the first Like a Dragon. I got to is it the Millennium Tower at the very end, and you have to get like every character to like a certain level in order to then tackle the tower and potentially beat the boss. And my save file corrupted. I just couldn't be bothered to go back to it.
My save file,
100 hours just went down the drain.
yeah, my save file corrupted for Saints Row 3 on the PS3, and I was like right at the very end because it's like 100% completion is the you need to get, and I think I was like mid 90s or something like that, and then my save file corrupted, and it's sitting there. It's like I want to go back and platinum it, but I'm like I've not got the strength to go through and do everything again.
Maybe
I'm like-
so much time has passed though. Like I agree with you. I wouldn't want to go back, but maybe one day.
I don't think I could force myself through it
No,
because it's one of the
mate.
ones I've played Saints Row 3. Look, I played it on 360. I played it on PS3. I think I played it twice on 360 actually. So see, like doing it a fourth time, like, the idea of that, I'm like,
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
nah. Have you had any like platinums get ruined by save corruptions or anything like that, Leon?
Oh, I feel like yes, but no. There's a game that I started called The Last Stand, and I'm pretty sure it must have been a flash game that you played during school. Do you know them games where it'd be like zombies and you build up a barrier, sort of that S game? There's
Is that
a
the one that
PS
looks like a rip off of The Last of Us on the PlayStation Store?
No, wasn't that Nintendo Wii? Nintendo Switch that store was on. I think I know the one you're on about.
I know, I've seen it on the PlayStation Store.
I know what The Last Stand is. I've got it physically.
Yeah, I got it physically. It's pretty cheap. It's like a over the top zombie game where you just run around and collect stuff. But the PS4 version, I think you have to go through so many days, right? And you do a section, you drive forward, and it's like a new day. And I popped 1 or 2 trophies, but the game just kept crashing. So it technically doesn't answer your question, but it was a platinum that I was going to go for because I thought it was a really niche game. But I just abandoned it on the PS4 format at least because it was just crashing. I was like, well, it's corrupting itself. I can't really do much. I tried doing a few things differently, but it didn't work. I'm just trying to think. I feel like I have had a game break, but I don't necessarily know if it was a platinum run. You know. I don't. In recent times, fortunately, I don't think anything bad has happened to me yet. Knowing that I've said that, probably will now.
Yeah, it will happen with Days Gone now. You've jinxed it.
Oh, yeah, nail in the coffin. Thankfully, I won't have to play that.
The original Dying Light screwed me as well.
Oh, I still need to go back and do that.
I think there's 8 quarantine zones from what I remember, and I did all 8, but I never got the trophy. And from that moment, I was just like, well, there's no point carrying on for the platinum if the game's bugged and it hasn't given it me, and I just gave up on it basically. I finished the game itself, but I just
Great game.
stopped actively going for the trophies, and that was years ago. That was before I was even a platinum hunter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super close to the platinum. I just need to clean up some like the parkour challenges and stuff. Like, I'm dead close to getting it. It's just finding the time, I guess. But I mean, I always say that I delete my own save files of games that I stop playing. I know that's not technically the game corrupting itself, but like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, right, is a humongous game, and I think you need to get 100% completion. So I
Yeah.
thought, jumping back in, I've already completed the main game, so it'll probably be, I don't know, maybe sitting at 60%, and it's much more achievable. Go back to it to do the multiplayer, see I've not got a single player save, and I'm like, nice. I'm gonna have like I'm looking forward to doing it again because I've not played it in so long, and it is a great game. But I'm just like, oof, it is kind of just a bit long. And it's the same with Fallout 4. When the TV show came out in May, I thought, oh, let me re-download it, get on the Fallout hype, get a platinum. You know, I'm really close to getting the platinum, and again, no save file, have to do it again. I'm like, yep, can't bother.
Yeah, it's like the cleanup would have been like 10 hours, and now
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
back to
exactly.
like a 40, 50 hour platinum, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, like I'm doing it again. But it's my own silly fault to try and save like 10 megabytes of data. Stupid me.
You've got the cloud saves, use them.
Yeah, cloud saves. Idiot.
So we get any other questions?
Yeah, kind of a two-parter actually, because you're really close to 100 platinums. Have you got a plan for what you want your 100th platinum to be as like a milestone?
Yes, I have.
Are you
And
allowed to reveal it?
yeah, I've
Yeah.
already said it in a couple of videos, to be honest. So it's one that I've wanted for a while. Whether I can actually get it or not is another thing, because I know that it's considered difficult. It like basically Bloodborne.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not a fan of Souls like because I'm terrible at them.
Yeah, me too.
But I do like the look of Bloodborne, so I do want to give it a go. And
Yep.
providing that I enjoy it, because I won't platinum something if I don't enjoy it. Like, I'm not one of these guys that will play a game, hate it, and still platinum it. Like, I have to enjoy the game to crack on with it. But providing I enjoy it, I would like Bloodborne to be number 100, if not something else that, like, you know, kind of means something to me. I do like the fact that my 75th platinum was Resident Evil 5, because I love Resident Evils, and Resident Evil 5 was like one of the first games I ever played co-op online. Because I was quite late to like online gaming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I never really gave a crap about the milestones before, but since my 75th one being that, I kind of want to make my 100th one a memorable one as well. So yeah, Bloodborne.
I think Bloodborne would be an easy platinum. See if you use a guide, or are you just going to go in blind?
See, I guess it's going to depend on like what's going on in my life at the time. If my life's as hectic as it is currently, like, because long story short, like my work is just manic at the moment. Like, I'm doing 14-hour days, if you include the commute, and I'm just knackered. And then fitting in everything else around it, it's not leaving me much time to actually game. Providing that everything's calmed down, then yeah, I'll probably just go in blind, experience it the way it's meant to be played first and foremost, and then go back again and have a guide ready to clean up. Otherwise, if I'm short on time or if things are still hectic, I'll probably just go straight in with a guide, make it a little bit easier on myself.
Yeah, because I went through and played up till the very end blind, and you need multiple endings. I think it's 3 different endings for the platinum, and then I used a guide to get that. But that took me like a few months, but I was just bad at it, like constantly just hitting spots where it's like I couldn't get past it. Whereas my brother, he just like looked online, he's like, right, this is like the OP guide, and then like beat it in a week. And I was like, it's not the way to play it though. See, especially a game like that, like a Soulsborne, I feel like you should kind of need to struggle through it a bit.
Trial and error, right?
Yeah, it's a bit like learning the patterns and actually learning the game, not just what's OP at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, like Elden Ring was a banger of a game. I really enjoyed that. I haven't got the platinum on it, but I did really enjoy it. But because Elden Ring was like open world, if I struggled against a boss, I went and kind of leveled up some elsewhere, and then came back once I was a bit stronger with a better weapon and wiped the boss clean.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like semi cheating, I guess, or like kind of. Phymecia, like that one, I went in blind, considered a Souls like, and I haven't got the platinum on it. I'm one trophy off it, and it is literally just to defeat the tutorial boss, and I can't do it. Like I've tried and tried and tried hundreds of times, I just cannot do it. So it's
Are there
like,
any guides on how to cheese it, or is it just pure skill?
I mean, there probably is like tips of how to defeat him. Like, you know, if he swings a certain way, he's going to do this attack. Make sure you're out the way and stuff. But with Phymecia, as I went through the game, like there were moments where I got stuck on a boss for a long time, but I like kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Persevered and managed to get past it. Whereas old me would have just given up and moved on to a different game. And I was like determined, like, nah, I've got to do this. And then like you get upgrades in it, so it makes your block window a bit longer than it normally is. But because it's the tutorial boss, you've got no upgrades or anything. So it's like if you block, it has to be at the exact moment that the boss is attacking. And I cannot get that window down. I've always been terrible at like any form of defense in any game. Like if I can attack, I'm going to attack. If I have to defend, I'm going to die.
Yeah, I do struggle sometimes with the parry mechanics in games. I just try and dodge and just hope I can attack them more.
Yeah, some are so difficult. You'll like Bloodborne though, because Bloodborne, it's like, see your health bar. See when you take damage, it'll come down to like, say here maybe. But you see when you attack, you get like a wee window where you regain health.
Okay.
For attacking after you've lost health. But going back to like Bloodborne, let's see, how old are you, can I ask?
I'm 37.
37. Alright, so
Yeah.
you're a wee bit older than me and Leon. But it's like, how do you struggle with like finding time to game? Let's say especially as you're getting older. Because it's like, me especially, let's see like the last like year or two, I've noticed that it's like, I'm still finding time to game, but it's like then it's like becoming less and less sort of thing.
I mean, like, if I think back to, you know, let's say my mid-20s, like I was living at home with my parents, like single, no children. Like some days, especially like the weekends, it was literally like wake up, turn my PlayStation on before I've even like put my feet on the floor, and like I'd you know I'd obviously eat, go to the toilet, wash, do all the usual things, but I would literally do nothing else other than play my games all day, and then I'd turn it off at night and just like get back into bed and roll over and go to sleep.
Do you feel like your...
Sorry,
I was going to say, do you feel like your taste in games has changed as well? Like a good bit?
Yeah, I guess. I've like, as stupid as it sounds, like even though I've now got like a mortgage, I've got a child, and X amount of bills, I feel like I've got more money for games than I did back then. So I can buy more, and to be honest, quite recently I've been buying a lot more than I probably should. But at the same time, like I'm putting like if I get stuck on a game rather than just giving up, I'm like sticking with it. And I think that's kind of the platinum part, like that's the platinum YouTube side of things that's kind of helped me. Like, you know, I want this platinum to potentially make content with if I get stuck, whereas I would have just threw it away. Now it's like, okay, no, like gotta stick with it, let's go.
See, that's where I'm, where it's like, see, because it's obviously you don't get as much time now. It's like I'd rather enjoy the entire like experience kind of thing. Like Star Wars Outlaws, for example. It's like I ain't enjoying it, so I'm just like binning it. I'm not interested.
Oh yeah, like definitely. If I mean if I look through my trophy list on PSMP, like there's definitely games there that I've started and then thought, you know what, I haven't got the time for this.
Mm.
But I'm still like, I'm not going to not play a game because I know I'm not going to get the platinum.
Uh-huh.
Like the best example I've got is Grand Blue Fantasy Relink.
Is that a fighting game?
It's like a JRPG hack and slash kind of game.
Right.
It's like for the platinum, you're talking 100, 125 hours. I've completed the game. You know, I got like 32 out of the 54 trophies, and I really enjoyed it. But then I looked at it and I was like, you know what? I haven't got the time to do this next 80 hours of just grinding for the platinum trophy.
Mm-hmm.
So I just moved on. So yeah, so yeah, I'm still very much like, I'll play games if I want to play them. If I get stuck, yes, I'll persevere until I get past it, providing that I'm enjoying it. If I get stuck to the point where it's like, you know what, like I'm just sick of this now, I'll just move on.
Because I feel like I'm falling away from multiplayer games more. Let's even like the idea of playing Black Ops 6 online against like these ADHD 13-year-olds that are just spanking me. It's like I'll just play some single player game.
I was going to say, BombChop, how's your comparison been? Because you've said that you've played COD a lot in your younger years as well. How's the experience sort of playing it now? Are we entering, in football terms, Saudi status, end of career, or are you still like enjoying it?
Mate, I'm so far beyond Saudi status at this point. Like I'm
He's
like,
Iniesta in Japan right now.
I'm gonna say I'm running a bar somewhere in Costa del Sol. Like I am getting shit on repeatedly. Like don't get me wrong, I do still have the occasional decent game, like on anything multiplayer, to be honest. But using COD as the example because it's like the most recent one that I've played, like some of these guys, like they're diving around these corners and like they're behind me before I've even reacted to move to their initial movement. Like they're behind me and like they could probably execute me 7 times over before I've turned around to actually shoot them. Like I'm not that literally that slow. Like, you know, milk doesn't turn quicker than I do, but like they are just on another level. Some of these kids, like sneak fuel or whatever it's called, like they are destroying me. But you know, if they're in the distance and I've got a long range weapon, I still hold my own.
I was going to say you start playing differently, don't you? Like I've come to the point where I used to play Warzone quite a lot, so mechanically in Modern Warfare 2019 or whatever, the movement is very similar to Black Ops 6 now. It's quite fast paced. I know Black Ops 6 is a lot quicker now, but you know, I was learning how to bunny hop around corners, slide cancel, you know, do all of that stuff because you had to if you wanted to be good. And I've not played COD since. I've not played Warzone since, but Black Ops 6, you know, Verdansk is meant to be coming back next year. I'm excited for it. I'm like, right, let me get back to building up to actually hopefully being good again. And I just thought, I think I'm past the Omni movement stuff. I think it's great. I think it's sick, but I'm at the point where it's like, right, this kid can do a cartwheel, do all of this jumps and stuff, but I'm just going to hold my lane and ping them. And they can do that, but they're still not going to win because they're going to get shot. And it's just, I think it's, as I've gotten older, you know, you start thinking smarter. It's like footballers. Like I think it was Fabregas when he was at Chelsea. He was doing a sprinting drill around cones, and the way that he did it was quicker than all of the youngsters because he just thought about the distances and how long it would take. And it's like just thinking differently, I think is the good thing about getting older. You don't rush into things.
It's a more logical approach to everything. Instead of reaction speed.
If you had to 1v1 yourself from like your prime COD years, how do you think you'd stack up to now?
From my prime years, my prime years, I would absolutely destroy me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Like,
get bent over.
like back
Violent
in
shot.
World at War, because like I was late to like online gaming, and that World at War was my first Call of Duty, and I played that like religiously, like
First online COD or first
yeah,
COD total?
first online COD.
First online.
Yeah, so it was like I'd wake up, put it on, turn it off, go to bed, wake up, put it on. Like I'm pretty sure I was out of work during that point as well,
Mm.
and it was like every single day, eat, sleep, breathe, all the war. And it showed. Like back then, I used to play with a few of my old football mates, and it was like every single game without fail, I was always top of the leaderboard. I'd absolutely destroy the lobby I was in every single match. These days, like I said, I'm lucky if I get bottom but one. Like
You get that
Surely
negative
it's good.
KD.
yeah, like
What's
back
your
then, I
KD
was,
now?
to be fair, it's 1.26.
Okay, so
So
you're still positive. That's like better
yeah,
than what 90%. Have you seen the stat where it's like the
yeah.
majority of players are under a 1 KD, which I find fascinating.
How?
I don't know.
I mean,
I've shocked myself this year. I'm at a 1.95 KD.
Damn.
I've not hit these numbers since like back in the day on PS3.
to be fair though, to my KDA in Modern Warfare 3, I was like 0.98 for the longest time, and then like towards the end of the cycle, like every time I'd like jump on with one of my mates just for like a few matches, I crept it over one.
Mm.
But with my 1.26 that I've currently got, that does include gold knife and the two gold launchers.
Okay, that's quite good going.
Yeah,
Not really
so
difficult to do.
the second launcher is just so annoying. Like the direct hits, my god.
Yeah, I'm not. I think camos look cool, but I don't think I'd. I don't know. Maybe I will go for the mastery camos, but I'm not. Getting gold and diamond is normally good enough for me. It depends how much I like the COD though, of whether I want to
Yeah.
commit to it. Like maybe I'll get to prestige master because that emblem does look pretty cool. Very reminiscent of like OG Black Ops and Black Ops 2.
Well, Black Ops 4 was probably my most played COD. I know it's
Really?
like, yeah, I know it's not everyone's favorite, but
Nope.
that was the only one where I actually hit level 1000 master prestige. Um, I literally like did everything on that game except for the platinum.
I was gonna say, what about the platinum?
I didn't play Blackout very often, but in terms of multiplayer, like I can't snipe to save my life, but I even did all the snipers on it and everything. And like it's just I don't think I could put that level of
Commitment.
yeah into it anymore. I just like Modern Warfare 3. I enjoyed the multiplayer, but after like I think it was about a month, I got bored and just switched to everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd imagine Black Ops 6 is going to be the same. I'll play it, but then after a month or so, or halfway through season one, I'll just be like, yeah, I've done everything I want to do on this now, and I'll move on to something else.
Yeah,
That is my worry as well. But I don't know. Hopefully it continues being good.
I'm just at a stage where it's like I want to experience as many different games as I can. Let's see the idea of just like grinding away on Black Ops 6. I'm like, I'd rather spend my time better. You know what I mean?
That's a valid point.
Yeah.
I think as well on the sort of gaming as we're getting older, it was alluded to earlier how when Alex said that he's got more money now to buy games, and it's funny that as a kid we've got all of the time in the world but no money. Like yeah, I'll trade games in order to buy a new game, but it's now, I've got so many new games in just such little time. Like I've got the Final Fantasy Pixel Remastered collection thing still in its wrapping. Like when am I going to play this? Hopefully soon, but I don't know. So
I'm the
it's,
same. I'll just like see a game and buy it, and then it's like, mate, I've
yeah.
got so many games that I've not even touched that I need to get started on. But
I've literally got like 20 still in the sleeves that I haven't even put onto my shelves yet. And there's about 30, 40 in the sleeves on the shelves as well. Like,
You know the shelves behind you. Is
yeah,
there an ordering like how? Because I can see there's like a for people listening on Spodcast Spotify. In Alex's backdrop, he's got a section of games that's like just red, like red box
is that
arts.
the Essentials editions?
yeah, the PlayStation hits.
Right.
Yeah.
As in, like, do you coordinate games by series, alphabetical? Obviously, with that special box art with the essential stuff like that. What's the process?
So yeah, all across the top is PS5,
Yeah.
and then a little bit into the second shelf is like the back end of the PS5. Then it goes into PlayStation hits for the PS4, and then it's all PS4 after that, all in alphabetical order.
Okay.
I toyed with the idea of having like the games that I've platinumed in their own section, but I think maybe once I've got more platinums, I might be more inclined to do it.
Yeah.
I am planning on getting some Billy bookshelves because they're just like cheap tat from Amazon, and the one isn't even level. The one I've had to stick cardboard underneath because it actually came like lopsided.
No.
Like I literally fitted it all together, and then I was like, "Well, hold on, where the fuck's the leg?" And it was all fit together perfectly. It's just that was the way it was cut and how it was packaged, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like
Oh
I,
no.
I ain't taking all this down to send
Yeah.
back.
Send it. Ugh,
What's
awful.
the most expensive game in your collection then? You think? Do you know off the top of your head?
Um, Probably it's either Black Ops 4 because I brought the £100 edition, or potentially maybe Deadpool, just because of the price rise due to the film. Like I brought it at £50, but I think the last time I looked, it went up to 95. I think it has
Damn.
come down again a little bit, but it's still up there.
Yeah, I think that's probably got to be mine as well then, Deadpool. Because I've got a few games like Lollipop Chainsaw, Killer, Killer is Dead, stuff like that, Shadows of the Damned that are like expensive, but like 40, 50 for like a PS3 game. I think that's probably the
Yeah.
most expensive.
Say mine's probably Deadpool. I don't really collect physical stuff as much. PS3 was obviously where I had all my games, but none of them were technically anything to write home about. I'm just waiting for is it Leisure Suit Larry? Is that
Yeah,
I bought that game for a couple of quid from Kex. I'm just waiting for that to rise in price.
box office bust. I've
Yeah,
got that as
exactly.
well. Yeah. It's always
But
like random Japanese games that go for pure high money. Just because they don't sell well over here like the English versions.
Mm.
yeah,
That's what I need to invest in.
like before I started collecting, like I used to trade in my games quite a lot, so that I could get like the newest AAA that had just been released.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I'm disappointed that I traded in was Blue Reflection, because I think that's gone up to like £60 now,
Oh,
and
that's quite
like
a lot.
I probably traded it in for a pack of minstrels or something like that.
Yeah, it's always a scam when you trade in. It's like, yeah, here's 5p for your entire console and 20 games. Do you do you have like I know some people I think like Mystic uses an app on his phone where he like types in the games and checks them off. Do you have like an online, you know, collectors thing to know what you've already got to keep track?
I used to. I
Mm.
used to use an app called I think it's called Gamoy or Gamoy, um, and I used to have that on my old phone, but just for no apparent reason, my phone decided to not work anymore. Literally woke up one morning, it started making some weird beeping noise and never turned back on.
That's fun.
Yeah, so I downloaded it again on my new phone. Put all my credentials in, but it's like a blank slate. Like it's like I've got no games on it, so I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered to. Like at the time, I'd only got like one shelf as well, so I can't be bothered to go through it and put it all back on again.
Yeah.
It took so long last time. Now I've got even more. It'll take me a day.
Oh. Yeah.
I feel like,
Especially when there's a lack of time.
yeah, I feel like we've asked you loads of questions. Have you got any questions for us?
I really should have, but my I guess my mind's just blank at the minute. I mean, for you, Chris, obviously, I remember coming into your stream with the GTA challenge video. Are you planning on continuing streaming?
Streaming, I think it's one of the ones where it's like I said earlier, like you need to be committed to it, and you need to have like every single day at this time you'll find me here, and I'm just not consistent enough to be streaming. And also, I prefer recording to streaming just because it's like if the dog needs a toilet or if something comes up, it's like, right, cool, just bang, pause recording, go deal with it, and then come back. Whereas when you're streaming and something comes up, it's like, God, right, I'll be back in 5 minutes, guys, and then it's like you come back, everybody's gone. Because it's like, I do it myself where it's like you're watching a stream and they're like, right, I need to go to the toilet or I'm going to get something to eat. And you're like, right, cool, you wait for a few minutes and then it's like, right, okay, I'll find something else to watch. So I just don't think I'm consistent enough to do streaming proper. I think that's one where it was like if 2 years down the line I'm still doing YouTube and it's like making money, then I would go back to streaming. But
Yeah. No,
if I wanted to, I was going to say, if I wanted to do it, I'd want to do it right.
Yeah.
And anything special coming up for either of the two of you in terms of like content that you can disclose?
The worst PS1 game will be getting platinumed. I don't know how long it'll take for me to get the video done because I'm horrible at writing scripts. That'll take ages. But 100% I've said it. I've put it in my head that November there will be a video coming out. Because I've not done, I think my last was like the start of August when I went back to work. I think that was when the GTA video went up. So September, October, there's been nothing. And at the start of the year I was like, one every 2 months was like the minimum that I aimed for. I don't even know if I've hit that this year. So November, video, 100%.
He said it on the podcast, so it's definitely happening.
Or else I'll do something. I'll do a forfeit. I'll donate to charity, right? There you go.
Nice.
That's how much I hate charity. I'm going to make sure a video comes out.
I was going to say,
even if it's a 30-second video, me just saying, like, fuck you, cancer charities or something, you know?
I was going to say, I was hoping more for our next podcast you were a maid outfit, but fine.
That's the 1,000 subscriber special, mate. I'll get the maid outfit on.
Well, you said it now. It's captured.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's no real big challenges. I think I've already done one big challenge on YouTube. I don't think I'm video-wise. I think everything's been done until I get another idea. It's just popping out a few videos. You know, I've got World at War, Spec Ops: The Line. I really want to get out the video that me and Chris have done together, the Platinum Race with Call of Duty World War II. I think that will be a good one to, at some point, get out. But yeah, it's more so just content, really. Nothing top secret, nothing crazy. I am planning at the end of November to do a 24-hour live stream, so it's not necessarily a video, but quite a big fucking challenge. So
Is that going to be for like charity or just like for a 24-hour
yeah, so
thing?
it's going to be a charity stream. I'll be working with Mind, which is like a mental health charity in the UK. So yeah, they've sent me like a t-shirt and stuff to do that for. I'll probably start distributing links in my sort of descriptions and stuff, because I probably need to start working on getting some guests on. If any of you gentlemen want to join in, more than welcome to.
Yeah,
to
More than
get
that,
through
right?
24 hours, and obviously thinking of some good milestones for when we hit certain numbers for me to do things as well. So I need to do a bit of planning my end, and I can start promoting it. But that's probably the big challenge, going for 24 hours, which is a bit crazy.
See, I would love to do like a 24-hour stream, or even like, you know, incorporate it into a video, like a 24-hour video.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. But I just, it's physically impossible. Like my house is like a zoo at the best of times. Like, every single person in this house, like there's me, my missus, our son, and then she's got 2 kids of her own. And like every single one of them upstairs asleep right now. They're like elephants. Like they bang around, they shout, scream, make weird noises, and it's like there's no way I could ever do anything like that without having a moment in the video where it's like, okay, mute, and like kind of like, fuck off, like shut up, stop making noise. Like I just couldn't. And then of course my boy, he's like fully a daddy's boy. Like if I'm around, like if I'm awake, if I'm at home and he's here, he wants to be on my lap. He wants to be playing with me. And it's just like, if I'm sat here at my computer and he's over the other side of the room, he like comes right up to the gate, because I've literally got a dog gate stopping him from messing with anything. And he comes right up to the gate and he's like handing me his bottle, like, juice. I'm like, all right, 1 minute. Like, no, juice. Like, okay, mate, like, calm down, you're the boss. And I have to put everything on pause, go and do it. So it's just like those kind of things. As much as I would love to do, I just physically can't at the moment.
Would
But
you
in the
ever?
future, you can get a father-son platinum video, maybe.
Well, maybe in the future. I mean, he's nearly 3, so he's still got a few more years before I put the controller in his hand.
Yeah.
But not only that, a few more years, he'll probably be wiping the floor with me, like on any game that we play. So I'm not sure I want to humiliate myself that much just yet.
Do you think you would ever include them in videos like in the future?
I have thought about it, to be honest. At the moment, no. Like I've thought, like, if I was to ever stream and like say he came running in, would I allow him to be on the camera? And I don't think so. Not at this moment in time. But we'll like, let's just say 6 years old. If I'm still doing YouTube, which I have every plan to be, like, this isn't just a flash in the pan or a 1 year thing. Like, I plan to do this for a period of time. So let's say 6 years old, maybe I'll feel differently by then. But I'd probably say no even then.
Because I feel like it's such a weird thing. Like some of the way they kind of like use their kids in videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there was one guy in particular. I don't know if I should say the name, but like he was on the FM community and he done vlogs. You can probably figure out who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And like he had like an autistic kid that would like be having meltdowns and stuff like that, and he would video the whole thing, and I'm watching it and I'm like, it just seems wrong. Like it seems like you're kind of like using them in a way.
Yeah.
It just felt dirty.
I know exactly who you're on about, because it was him that got me into it in the first place. That was like the first time I ever saw like an FM YouTuber, and it was where I got like the idea myself to try it out. But yeah, 100% agree. It did kind of feel like it was potentially being used. No, I'm happy to be wrong on that, but it did feel like it.
Yeah, because it's like people had said that to him before, and he's like, "Nah, I'm just showing you what it's like to have a kid with autism." And it's like, see, in like 10 years when he grows up, or like, I don't think he went to school. I think he was like pretty like badly autistic. But it was like, people will make fun of him for it, and there was people in the comments like laughing at him and stuff like that for like his meltdowns. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like you should just keep that in house, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, context, everybody, FM means football manager.
Yeah. I'm helping at the normies.
I mean, it's one of them. Like, I try to keep like my personal life and YouTube separate. So for that reason, I probably would stick with the fact that like my son will never be on it. Like, I'm happy to mention him, and he's everything to me. Like, I'd drop YouTube in a heartbeat if it meant like it was the only way I could ever see him, kind of thing. YouTube would never stand a chance against my son. Rightfully so. Like, I'm saying this, like, some people out there would, but he's always going to be number one. But nah, I think YouTube and personal life, keep that separate. or as good as separate. Like originally, I had no intention of even revealing my real name. Like when I first started, but a first name's nothing. Only one person's found my actual Facebook account, which I
Really?
which I haven't used for about a year and a half.
Was it a troll?
No, it's another YouTuber.
Oh, that's
Why did they go looking for your name?
Yeah,
Why did
it's
they
very
look for you on
detective.
Facebook?
I have no idea. I played a game with them on Steam, and even on Steam, I don't have my full real name. And then they somehow found me on Facebook and tried to add me, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not even going to accept or delete. I'm just going to leave it there.
I mean, just ignore it. That's so weird.
Bizarre. Yeah, even I feel. Do you know when you look at your PlayStation trophies and stuff, because it doesn't have your username, it has your actual personal name if you use it. So it's got my first name there, and I've actually deleted because it used to have my full name as well. So I better just delete that just in case. And even having like the last initial, which obviously there's probably so many names that start with my last initial, but even then I'm like, oh, hope somebody doesn't want to try and find me in real life.
Yeah, I think my video for the Ascent, it was the first time I'd ever used like a second controller in my PlayStation. And when I logged into that second account, it just as a guest, but it then made the trophies pop up weird, and it came up with my full name. So when I
it
was
shows the
editing,
full name.
when I was editing, I was like blocked that out, and I was like, I'm not showing that.
Yeah,
Not that like people would be able to find much interesting about me anyway, but
It's good to have
you
a
just never
balance
know.
and it's separate.
Yeah, and to be fair, like if I ever did make it big, I know that I've told some edgy jokes in the past that would definitely get me cancelled. So keep them in the past where no one knows.
Yeah, I think we've all got some clips for party chats that would end it all.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's transcripts now, isn't there, with PlayStation chat? So be careful.
Yeah. Have you
Well,
ever had trolls or anything like that?
I haven't, to be honest.
No, you've been good.
No, I kind of feel a little bit gutted. I haven't had the full YouTube experience yet because no one's come in and cussed me out or trolled me. The closest I had was back when I was an FM content creator. Another FM content creator came into my video and said like, "Oh, you're clearly cheating because of X, Y, Z," and I was like, "I'm not," and I genuinely wasn't. Like, I hadn't utilized the FM editor or anything like that. And then when I called him out on his video, he quickly deleted his comment and then deleted his most recent video, which was quite funny. Because he was playing as, I think it was Brentford, and this was like the year that they got promoted to the Premier League. And in his team during the first season, he'd got like Alexis Sanchez when he was in his prime,
What a ball.
and a couple of other big
Man United
high-profile names.
Oh, come off of it.
But yeah, I literally was like, how can you call me a cheater when you've clearly done some dodgy business to get those players into your team? And how are you not top with that team? You're still mid-table. And yeah, he deleted his comments and then deleted his video as well. So I was kind of like, 1-0 me.
What about you, Leon? You ever had any trolls or anything?
Yeah, I mean,
Hate comments?
yeah, it's weird ones. It's not necessarily platinum related, but I've got a Resident Evil video, a method of how to kill a boss, and people comment like, "Oh, it doesn't work," or "Oh, this is rubbish." Or there was one guy recently that was telling the comments that you have. Do you know how in Resident Evil games you can pay like £2 and it gives you the unlocks for added health and unlimited rocket launcher? In the start of the video, I said, go to the PlayStation Store, buy the stuff from the store, complete the game once, and then you can double stack the coins for health or dodging or whatever. And he was just saying in the comments, "Oh yeah, he's paid for this." I was like, I literally said it at 1 minute in. There was that. Going back to the Football Manager, sort of the almost into hate from other content creators in a specific area, I think is quite bad. Not necessarily from the platinum community, but when I got the Tekken 7 platinum, I feel like not a lot of people within, like, it was very split. Like, half of the Tekken community were like, "Oh, this is awesome! Like, he's never played a Tekken game. Like, here are some tips," which was like really great. The other half were like, "Oh, like, just being whatever." But there was some. I think he had like 50K subs. Like, he was quite a big. I say big for like a fighting channel. Came in and just like gave like the biggest hate paragraph, and I was like, "Well, dude, chill." Like,
You're good at Tekken, calm down.
do you know what I mean? It's like at 50K subs, I don't send hate comments even with somebody with 1K subs. I'm thinking you must live a pretty sad life in regards to any hate comments to think, yeah, let me just whack out a massive paragraph and shit on somebody. Right? If it makes someone feel good, then fair enough.
How about you, Chris?
I don't think I've ever left hate comments on anybody's stuff. No, I had a guy come in and tell me to kill myself when I was streaming Star Wars. And then I clicked on his profile and he was like 12 or 13. And I was like, my PlayStation account's older than you, what the fuck? And then I done the problem with the Trophy Hunting community video. That was kind of sort of mixed. Like, there were some people that really didn't like my thoughts on that. And there was one guy that kept going back and forth and he's like, "You're deleting my comments. I can't mind what it was. You're like an elitist pig." And I'm like, "I've not deleted any of your comments. If you sort by new, they're still all there. And you look like an absolute fud." And that's pretty much it. I've not really... See, like a proper troll, that like just one person constantly dinging you. I've never had to deal with that. So it's just random people.
I feel like sometimes there's periods of time when somebody just comes onto my content and just drops a random dislike. Like, I know it's like the most stupidest thing, but it's like, I do think there are a couple of people that will just purely tune into content just to leave a dislike, and it's like, it's really weird. Like,
I had it in the FM community where I knew that one of the other FM creators was like disliking every single other person's video and talking bad about everybody, because I was sent a sound clip of a conversation that they had with someone else, and like he got shunned out so quick, it was magical. Like, it was a great feeling watching him just shrivel up and disappear. But like, there are people out there that do that. It's like, "Oh, you're my competition," dislike. But the stupid thing is, any interaction with a video is good.
positive.
Yeah.
It's so weird because there's like some people that just think it's like there's only space for like one person in this scene, and it's like, dude, there's room for so many people. Like, why are you trying to like make enemies and like put other people down? Like, I'd rather like lift other people up and like fucking, you have more subs than me, fucking whatever, and say like, I kind of like help them out kind of thing. Like, I want people to get more than me.
Yeah.
Do you
Same.
dislike videos on YouTube or not?
No.
Or is it? So I do, but I do it if the video, like, it's not from a hate perspective. It's like if it's clickbait, for instance, like, this deserves to be thumbs down because it's very misleading, if that makes sense. Like, this is how you get this trophy, but it's just like not how you get the trophy at all. It's just literally just a click. Like, that's the only time I do it.
No,
So would you say, like, if a video was called, like, I don't know, "This trophy almost killed me, but they're very much alive," would you dislike that one? Or
No, because that's like exaggeration. I think it's more so how to get
everybody's
this
videos in the
trophy.
community would be getting disliked.
Yeah, like, even if I dislike somebody's video, I just turn it off. Like, I wouldn't hit the dislike button unless I think the reason why I do use the dislike button is to make sure that YouTube doesn't recommend content in the future. But like those 30-second trophy videos that are obviously clickbait, it'd be like, I don't want to see this in the feed, and hopefully they don't pop up again.
I just click the 3 dots. Like 3 dots, and then it's like, don't recommend channel. That's what I do.
Yeah, I do that a lot as well.
I haven't done it for a while, but what I used to do back when I was like really new, I used to like put like platinum trophy or something in the search bar, and then filter it by like upload date and like view count and stuff, and find like the smallest of YouTubers, and just like leave them like I wouldn't like sometimes I wouldn't even watch the video because it would be like bad, but I'd still leave them a comment saying like, oh, you know, cool video, dude, like, you know, keep it up, you'll get better and stuff like that. And like I said, I haven't done it for a while, but I feel like I need to get back onto that because like I met some pretty decent people by doing that. And to be
Where
fair,
the greatest people are. I feel like that's how we found each other, arguably.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say like if it weren't for the trophy list review that you commented on, like I would have never have found out that you actually was a YouTuber. Or well, I wouldn't say never, but at that moment in time, I didn't even know that you were a YouTuber. And like, you know, now it's been, I think I've been a member of your channel for months.
Yeah, part of the furniture now. You're a moderator as well.
You know what I'm saying? Come with the territory.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, but like weirdly, I'd actually found you, Chris, before then bumping into you in Leon's stream as well. It's mad how like intertwined everyone in the community seems to be.
Algorithm be.
Because I can't even remember what video it was of yours, but I remember being like, this was a good video, and like I liked it, I subscribed it, and I commented, good video, like I subbed, and you were like, I've been subscribed to you for months.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit. Because see, when you're under 1,000, it like shows you, like I think, was it 1,000? You get emails for everybody with like public subscriptions. So I would go on and click.
Why I've not had any.
Does it stop after 1,000 then?
Yeah, after 1,000 it stops.
Okay.
You stop getting the and I don't think you get the notification. You definitely don't get the emails, because I would always check the emails and go on and click the person's channel and view it. Yeah. And then I think Leon, you found me through a Lollipop Chainsaw, through that Plat and Pop. And then
I was enticed by the upskirt of Julia.
And then you ended up hating the game.
Absolutely awful. Can't believe it, Chris. Look what you made me do.
Yeah, I know. Wasted money.
I don't know what you complain about. It was perfectly fine.
Did you play the PS5?
Yeah, I did.
How was it?
I only had a couple of issues. Like I feel so sorry for Leon because like I watched his streams and it looked awful. But I only had one camera issue, which I managed to like remember which way I was running. And yeah.
But this is the bi-weekly episode 4. Of course, we've been joined of our special guest today, BombChop. So thank you very much for joining us on this edition. If you just wanted to shout out your socials and where people can find you again.
Yeah, so it's just BombChop on YouTube, BombChop on X, Twitter, whichever one you want to call it. Yeah, I've got others, but I'm not using them currently at the moment. So just Twitter and YouTube.
Good stuff. And of course, we are on both Spotify and YouTube as well. So if you're listening on YouTube and wanted to download it and listen on Spotify, drop us a follow on there. If you're listening on Spotify, at Trophy Hoarders over on YouTube, and you get to see a little bit more context and what we look like as well. But that's been me, Leon. Chris, any closing comments?
No, just thank you, BombChop, for coming on, shooting the shit with us. We appreciate it.
No, it's been a pleasure, guys.
I'll be honest, I didn't expect it to go this long. Like I feel like it just kept flowing.
It
and
it's a shame
we need to get you back
stop.
on. Yeah, we need to get you back on some other time in the future.
Always happy to join in.
Alrighty, and we'll end it there then. Alright, we'll see you motherfuckers next one. Much love. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.